All right. Mawachi Kusabi family is actually the Sabbath for those who do not know. All right. So our Sabbath will never, ever, 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 ever be whenever the world keeps their Sabbath. It will just never be. And if you think that way, you are absent-minded, you are slow, you can't see. There's so many different things you are. But at the end, you would think that everything is revolving around you. But I want to let everyone know right now, and this is how we're going to do this. We're going to look at the scriptures and see if there's anything evolving around the nation. Since everyone, and I do mean everyone in a sense thinks that the heathen thinks that the Father, in a sense, his love revolves around them. And those who call themselves Israel, like Hebrew Israelites, Bantus, whatever, like, think that the Father and his love revolves around them as well. We're going to go look at the scripture and see where everything is coming from. Because the Father is going to give testimony to whom all these things are coming from, whom they're evolving around. And if the scriptures don't align to it, then we need to change our mindset when it comes to how we are. And it's the scriptures can be like saying, thus saith Yah. It says, watch these words. It's like extra, read all about it. He says, make sure to tell the people, this is what I'm saying about them. And this is why I'm doing this for. So I want to make this perfectly clear. So if the Father is saying I'm not doing this for none of so-called Israel, but I'm doing it for something else, we need to be very mindful. Now, this right here comes against customs and traditions. That means customs and traditions does not play a part in this. So the talk of the ancestors don't play a part in this. Nothing what people think that this takes place, plays a part in it. Nothing. So if you think because of this plays a part in it, remember, the Father's thoughts is higher than your thoughts. His ways is higher than your ways. So how in the world can it actually even come close to what you think it's going to be? Your thinking automatically is off. He's here, you're there. Your thoughts is there, his thoughts is way up past it. They're opposite. So many people are like, his thoughts is like this. No, it's not. His thoughts is like this. Your thoughts is this way, his thoughts is this way. He's thinking one way, you're thinking another way. How can the two walk together unless they be agreed? So that means this thinking right here, which is your thinking, must align to this thinking right here. So you have to, watch this, humble yourself to this thinking right here. Because if you're thinking that he's going to turn around and go this way to align with your thinking, you are messed up in the head. He has said one thing. So then you need to take your mindset and make it agree with what has already been said. I don't give a damn how your heart feels. I don't care what your mindset. I don't care how you feel in your soul. None of that has any point or any measurement of what the word says. If your heart, your soul, your vibe, whatever it is that you are on does not align to the scripture, it means boo-boo. Crap. I don't care who done taught you. I don't care what you felt. I don't care what you thought. None of that means nothing when it comes to what he has said. And it's like people do not get that drift. Nothing of what you think matters outside of what he is saying or what he is doing. We think that he has to bow down to what we think, to what we feel, to what we think. That is so backwards. When we have to bow down to his will, to his ways, to his thoughts, to his heart. Now we can talk. So understand, there's no way that any of this is going to amount to what you think. So with that, salute to everyone who's watching Truth Colors for the first time. We're gonna go ahead and get started with the intro. I'm not gonna say I hope we're not gonna be here that long, because we have a group meeting today after this, and we will be getting together, and this will become a mandatory thing. I'm putting this out here so everyone hears. Like, well, I didn't hear it. It will be a mandatory thing that when we have the Sabbath, after the Sabbath, we will be meeting up at a place to eat. And we'll be sitting up there breaking bread, talking, whatever we need to talk about. But we need everyone to show up. And then afterwards, you can disperse from where you need to go. But everyone, lottie-dottie, was in this land needs to meet up. So those who are coming to the land understand that when the Sabbath is, after the Sabbath, we are going out to eat. Sometimes we might be going to another person's house. I might say, hey, we're going to the king's house. Hey, we're going to Dora's house. Hey, we're going to Lisa's house. Hey, we're going to whomever house. Understand, we're going to Tia's house. Wherever house we're going to. But we're going to have it to where we are going to be meeting up. Because if we're not meeting up, it's the same thing as us being right here online. So Dwayne is where he's at. Everyone's where they're at online. When we come into the land, that is to break that barrier so we can now what? Come together. We're not going to lose that. I don't give a dang how people feel. There's going to be friction. You know why? Because we're different. Guess what? The Father didn't stop it the first time. There was obviously not, right? Because people came against Moses. There was some friction going on. As long as the friction don't lead to death, meaning like people doing things they shouldn't do, like against the king, like they came against Moses and got their life ended. So they thought it was so special or over Moses. As long as it's not like that, we cool. We can work through everything. But without pressure, there is no diamonds. Without war, there is no peace. You can't scream peace, 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 peace. If we scream peace right now and just leave everything peaceful, guess what? Everything stays the way it is. Nothing changes. That means you still stay a slave. But if there's war, then guess what? Now we're fighting for freedom. If there's war, then we fight for change. If there's war, now in a sense, would be a sense of everything being reset back to the way it was. But it's got to be set back better than the way it was. Because if it goes back to the way it was, we're going to go back to the same predicament. So obviously the Father's going to change some things. It's going to be something new that he's doing. Instead of something saying, read all about it, the word is going to be inside of you. Because that's the only way you're going to get saved. If his word has no place in you, you are not his. If my word has no place inside of you, you are not his. You understand? That's salvation. That's how it works. Period. Show me where the Messiah was sowing oranges into the ground. Was he sowing grapes? That's right, he was sowing cantaloupes, mangoes, bananas, strawberries. What was he sowing into the heart of man? If he's sowing the word, then why in the world is he sowing the word? To produce oranges or to produce the word inside of the person's heart? Just asking questions. And with that, let's kick off with the intro. Just asking questions, that's all. Different questions that need to be asked because people just think they know something. So you have to make them look stupid. So they Yeah.
Revelations. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark into his forehead or in his hand. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Elohim, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. And they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Satan cast into the lake of fire. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and they shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. The great white throne. And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Elohim, and the books were open, and another book was open, which was in the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books, according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged, every man according to their works, in death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death, and whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. But I will tell you what will happen to cowards and to everyone who is unfaithful or dirty-minded, or who murders, or is sexually immoral, or uses witchcraft, or worships idols, or tell lies. They will be thrown into that lake of fire and burning sulfur. This is the second death.
Your haters, not your haters, they're your fruit testers. Your haters, not your haters, they're your fruit testers. Hey, Yahuwah says your haters, not your haters, they're your fruit testers. Multitude like the haters, not your haters, they're your
Beats by all the songs.
Truth colors, truth colors, truth colors, truth colors, truth colors. Ayy, when you learn the truth, it will set you free. Many are held captive, stolen identity. But let me just shoot the breeze, release you from Satan's squeeze. He's all like enemies, no matter the color you see. That truth flame. Truth colors, truth colors, truth colors, truth colors.
Yeah. All right. Let's get down to business. All right. We have to get down to business. I want to make. I don't want anyone. To think otherwise than what the word says. Don't mind me, I just seen a fly. I don't like flies, all right? At all. Everyone know who know me. No, I do not like flies. When I was little, if I seen a fly, me and the fly would go in the restroom, whatever. If they showed up in the restroom, one of us is coming out, you know? I'm not leaving until you dead, you know what I'm saying? Especially in the restroom. So I'm gonna find you, I'm gonna corner you, and I'm gonna beat the brakes off you. I'm gonna kill you. And then I'm gonna come out victorious. And I did this when I was younger. I mean, like, it was just, I could not stand flies. Just could not stand it, right? So anyone who comes to the place, we ain't gonna have windows open and all that kind of stuff open. Like, oh, it's a nice little breeze. Let's let the wind. No. I have air conditioning for that. I have fans for that. If you start opening up windows and stuff, I'm gonna kick you out. Just, could you please leave the premises? You have let in flies. You let in gnats. I understand that. I do not like them, right? I don't like them. All right. Whew. Saw the fly exit the building. It's nice. It was funny. It's like it went straight through the hole that it came back from. I saw it. I saw the hole it came in from. And it's from this window. All right. Let's get to it. If I'd have knew, like, I was not going to stop until I killed that fly. So the fly was like, he's like, exit the building. So he went right back straight through the window he came from. I love it. And the window's not even open, right? Oh my goodness. This is a beautiful picture. Dressed all in red. Okay. Let's get to it. Lady in red. All right. So for those who wants to get their loved ones, family members into the truth, this is how you start with them, right? You start with them by going to the playlist right here. And then you go right here. People try to send them other videos, you know, that I done did previously, you know, or recently, and you're not giving them the invitation, right? So maybe I should go up in here, put on here the call part 1 or / invitation, right? Because that's exactly what this is. This is the invitation. This is the invitation. So like no one can come without an invitation. So if you're giving them by coming in through the middle parts of when we started out, you're not really doing them any kind of justice, right? You're not helping them out. Help them out by sending them straight to the beginning. Boom, this is what the Father told me. He gave me first, like, you are to do a video, you are to call it the call, not the calling or the called, but the call. And those who watch the call are the called, are the chosen, are the elect. Those who do not watch the call, this is what he said, those who do not watch the call are not the called, are not the chosen, are not the elect. In order to be the elect, the chosen, the called, you have to watch the call. Understand? Just saying, right? So if you want to get people into understanding what's going on, send them to the call. It's the call repentance. The call, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. And we currently work on the call part 5. But the call part 5 cannot be finished without us going to do what needs to be done. The call part 5 is the call. What? It's Journey to Zion. Everyone knows me from where? From the States. And I'm, came here to the land, right? And we got many scriptures saying that my name, watch this, because this is going to tie into everything we're talking about. My name, behold, my name is coming from afar, right? It's in Isaiah, right? And it's all tying right in perfectly to what we're going to be talking about in Isaiah 42, Behold my messenger, right? Behold, look, my chosen servant, right? My name is coming from afar. So every single person who has a problem with me, sorry for you. Because I'm about to show you it's not about you. It's about his name. And since I'm coming in his name, we're going to see how the Father words align to this person who was coming in his name. Let me look at y'all real quick. The Father is doing all these things for his namesake. That has nothing to do with you, how special you are. If the Father can kill 14,000 of our people in a day, how is it going to be about our people? That's one day. Not including Korah, not including the Levites. So Levites like, it's about us. He killed the Levites too. 250 of y'all. Talk to me. Talk to me, special people. Every single person who makes it special about them. Talk to me why the Father killed the most specialist things on the face of the earth. But he left Moses and Aaron alive. And those who sided with them versus those who was against them. What about Noah? And then he started the whole world over with Noah and his family. Ouch. That's right. Now, so we're going to Ezekiel, and the Father wanted me to make sure that what's this. So all these little arguments that's going on, the little bickering back, it's about us, it's about us. We're the chosen people. Da, 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 da. And all this stuff means nothing. It's about the Congo. It means nothing. Just asking questions. Number one, can I ask a question? Wouldn't the key point about the Messiah also be the key point of the water that he walked on? Like, would not fishing be like the main part of the Messiah where he was at? I'm just asking questions. I see the Congo, they move more about the cobalt in the land than anything. What about South Africa? What is South Africa known for? What is Kenya known for? What is Angola known for? What is Tanzania known for? What is all these places known for? The Gambia is known for fishing. Who were fishermen? Oh, that's right, the disciples. I will make you fishers of men. Senegal, Gambia, known for fishing. Just saying. So the Sea of Galilee would be in the Gambia. Just saying. I'm just looking at things that need to be looked at, that's all. I've noticed that everyone wants to talk about certain certain things, but I'm looking at very specifics. No one's talking about the rivers. No one's talking about the lakes. No one's talking about the fishing. All we kept seeing with the Messiah was he's breaking fish, breaking loaves, breaking bread. He's always eating. When they came together, they was always eating. That's why it's important for us after the Sabbath to go eat. That's why. We're keeping in what was done. They was always breaking bread together because that's how the Father always communed with the people. Do you understand when the 3 visitors came down, they came down and broke bread with Abraham? He literally said, that's the reason why you came to us, came to me was because I was going to feed you. And they didn't deny it. They didn't like, no, we ain't come down here for food. No, they didn't. They did not deny nothing. It was like, yep, we came out here to Abraham's barbecue. Chicken. With cornbread. Some green beans. No. Some greens. Don't get me caught up in that. So, but you understand though. And then watch this. They got through eating a meal to go through to Lot's place, and Lot prepared also a feast as well. So the Father was always showing up at feast times. Then we see with Abram going with Isaac, he's taking up what? A lamb gets caught up in a thicket. What are they gonna do with that lamb? Sacrifice that mother. They're gonna eat it. This is delicious. This is the best lamb I've ever had that was caught in a thicket. This is a thicket lamb. This is thicket lamb, right? I can tell by the thicket how it was caught up in the thicket. I can tell. This is thicket lamb. We're gonna call this thicket lamb right here. Not just any kind of lamb, but the lamb that was caught in the thicket. Thicket lamb. The Father provide food. He's like, look, when you come to me, I'm always gonna bring food. Do you understand that our feast day is around food? You're supposed to give me lambs and goats. So why? So when we come together, we eating. Every time we come together, it's supposed to be like, oh, we just delicious. This is great, man. What's this called again? It's called chicken. I love this. This is great. Lamb burger. I love the name of that. It's, you know what? It's supposed to be Judah eats up in his mug. You understand? Because Judah be eating. Right? All right, let's get it. So let's put this out here. We're going to Ezekiel. This is what the Father says, okay? I want you to understand. It is literally dealing with the context of our people. Look. And I scattered them among the heathen. Wait a minute, hold up. Can anyone please tell me where we are currently lodged at? Where most people are currently lodged in at? Are you amongst the heathen? Because if you are amongst the heathen, that means this applies to now. Huh? This is what the Father is saying to you now. This is what he's saying to our people now. So at all this bickering and backering, people's trying to make it into something else more so than what it is. This is what the Father is saying what it's about. Number one, it's not about you. It's never been about you, never will be about you. So all these different posts say, oh, the Father loves me and all the other kind of stuff, and he's doing it. He's not doing it for you. I know that might hurt, but the truth is the truth. The Father might remember you, but he's not doing it for you. Are we scattered? Are the people scattered right now? Is the people in the land right now? Because if you are not in the land, but you're right now listening to this message in America, this is speaking to the context of us right now. I need for people to get this. I need you to say the Father is making sure that this message get out, say like, do this now. Make sure the people know now for all this specialties. So if he's not doing it for you, then how in the world are you going to choose teachers from you? Leadership from you? How? It's going to be from him for his own sake, and his name is going to be on that leader. He's not going to choose a leader based off of because Israel supposed to have a leader. He's going to do it because of his namesake. So that means if it's about his namesake has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with him, his will, his way, not your ways, not your thoughts. Look at this. Look what happened to the first people. And I scattered them among the heathen. You know what scatter means? Israel. And I Israel them. He says Israel is among the heathen. Because Israel literally means the father's scattered seed. That's all Israel means. It is not a name. It is a prophecy. It is something that was done to you, which means scattered seed, but not just any kind of scattered seed, the father's scattered seed. And I scattered them among the heathen. I, Israel, them among the heathen. I scattered my seed among the heathen. So when you say Israel, understand all you're saying is Yah's scattered seed. So when you said I'm Israel, you're saying I'm Yah's scattered seed. That's it. You're not saying a name. You're saying a prophecy that was prophesied in the Bible. Period. So if any Africans are saying Israel, they're given the notion that the Bible is true in some respect, even though they have a thing against the Bible because they keep saying that the white man made the Bible. How in the world can the white man make the Bible when the white man is written inside of this book and been written out of it? He has cut the white man completely out of this book. So the same book that the white man would compose, the Messiah went through and literally exacto knife the white man out of the book. Please make that make sense. So if the white man's going to make a book, he's going to make sure that he's definitely inside of this book. But the Messiah's word actually speaks against the white man rather than for him. Please make this make sense now. If this book is written by white people, why is the white person judged from the same book that they wrote? Please make that make sense. This book speaks against them. The very same book that they wrote brings forth their judgment. Make that make sense. But all I keep hearing is people keep saying, the white man wrote this book. So how are you going to trust in your enemy's book? You don't make sense to me. This whole book comes against them. That's why they could not teach this book in a way. That's why many people are confused about this book now. Because when the white man got a hold of this book, they literally spoke it. They spoke about it in a way where they didn't understand it. So therefore, it brings about a curse upon the people instead of a blessing. Number one, it says you're not supposed to have the stranger over you. So therefore, the white man cannot speak this book or teach this book. And to do so is to have a curse to reside over you. So you have the white man's understanding of this book, then guess what? You are in a curse even now. Period. And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries. Is America a country? My country, 'tis of thee. I think so, by a song, right? Let's see if we can sing it. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. My country, 'tis of thee. Sweet land of liberty. This is speaking about America. It's speaking about the nations. So this is definitely talking about freaking America, right? And those across, right? My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrims' pride. From every mountainside let freedom ring. So now many people probably don't even know what that song is. But you understand this rides as a testimony to what the scriptures are saying in Ezekiel chapter 36. And they were dispersed through the countries, according, watch this, to their way. Wait a minute, so what was you doing to get dispersed? The same things that people are trying to have you do right now. Go back to the ancestors. The very same thing that caused you to be dispersed is the very same thing that many people are being taken right back to right now. According to their doings, I judge them. And when they, watch this, and when they entered unto the heathen, whether, watch this, they went, they profaned my holy name. When they said to them, these are the people of Yah, and are gone forth out of his land. Wait a minute, his land? So if it's his land, is he a she? I'm just asking questions now because the scripture says it's his land. So if the scripture says that it's his land, this cannot be the motherland. His is not mother. It will be father's land. Land of the father, not motherland. Since the world would say motherland, it will be fatherland. Because this land has a beard. And I have not seen one woman around here who likes even a little small chinny chin hair on their face. I've never seen a woman who has all a dish right here on her face and just let it grow. So I see people with tweezers, like pluck, 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 pluck. Hold on, let me get right in on that one. Pluck. No woman who is a real woman wants hair on their face. So when we look at the motherland, as they say, why do your mother got a beard? Is the father confused? Or are you confused about what the land is? Are you confused? Look at this right here. That's a whole beard right there, bruh. Whole beard. That is a beard. Look how hairy that mug is. This is the beard. That is a beard. That is a beautiful beard. Do your chin go back like this as a woman? We should be calling you chinny chin chin then, right? Chinny chin. There must be a lot of fat on your chin then, right? A whole bunch of fat on your face, right? Look at this whole beard. Look how fuzzy it is right here, right? Like some hair on the face. Look at this face right here going into it right here. You got this nose. This right here is to be the lips, right? The top of the mustache right here, moving that down into the lip area, going down to the beard area, right? So here's the nose, here's the top lip, here's the bottom lip. Here we got a little mustache right here on the top, going all the way down. It's a whole freaking beard going all the way up the sides. Here's all fuzzy down at this mug. Talk to me. And then this person got locks. Notice they're not baldy locks. They are freaking locks in this hair, like a person's wearing like a bag on their head or something. Something almost like this. They have a bag on their head to hold their locks. So if you are bald-headed, you are not the leader. Because number one, this is clearly freaking locks that you don't have. So Aaron Hall, shut the hell up. You ain't got no locks. Your hair saying, I miss you. I'm talking to your bald head. I miss you. Don't get me started. All right, look, so we got a beard right here, a whole beard. So the father is going to be doing everything for the image of this person right here. Notice it's not the image of the people. This person holds the covenant. This one person. This will be the apple of his eye. This will be his delight. Think about it. If he makes the whole shape of a land in your image, would that not also be his delight? I'm just saying. Because we're going to find scriptures that's going to line up perfectly with this. Gone forth out of his land. But watch this. But I had pity for my holy name. Oh. For his what? For his holy name. Which the house of Israel had profaned. Wow. Among the heathen, where they went. So wherever you're going, you have the name of the Father, but you're profaning it. Therefore say unto the house of Israel, watch this. He says what? Make sure that they know this. Number one, what do we want to make sure that you know? That you are not in any kind of shape, form, or fashion confused about this situation. What does he want to make sure that you know? Number one, it's not for you. He did not do any of the things he's doing right now for you. Therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Father, or what? I say Yah. The judge, I do not this for your sakes. Oh. What'd he say? I'm not doing none of this for you. Woo! I need to leave that on the screen right there. Just highlight it. I just need to leave it right there. I'm just leaving it right there. So everyone's saying he's doing it for the Congo? Nope. Everyone's saying he's doing it for Israel's sake? Nope. The scripture speaks against that. He's not doing it for none of our people's sake. It's not about you. It has nothing to do with you. And anyone says that it is, and think you count you special. So all the people telling you, oh, you're so special. Oh, you're this. You're being, how can I put this? You're being serenaded by the devil. It's all about you. The Father does this for you. He cares about you and he does this for you. It's not about you. It has everything to do with his namesake. Not you. I do not do this for your sakes, O house of Israel. Ooh, that's the scattered seed. That's Judah. That's everybody. Everyone who's been dispersed and you're not on the land. This is for you. So those who've been scattered to the Congo, it's for you too as well. South Africa, Kenya, everyone who's been dispersed everywhere. He is saying to you, it's not about you. So it's definitely not about your teachings. Your teachings is going to be off if it's not about you. Your Sabbath's going to be off. Your feast day is going to be off. It's not about you. Am I making myself clear? My bad. Is the Father making himself clear? I do not do this for your sake. So it's not about what the church thinks or what they taught you. It's not even about Allah or Islam. Allah is a great Yah. He has no son and he has no spirit. It don't even matter what they say. It don't matter what Christianity teach. It doesn't matter what Islam teach. It don't matter what no religion teach. It don't matter what Bantuism is. That's what I'm trying to show you. It don't matter about your traditions. It don't matter about your customs. You ain't in the picture. The reason why the Father is doing this is not about the Congo. It's not about the Bantus. It's not about Christianity. It's not about Islam. It's about his name. And if you don't have his name, you are not going to be able to stand in the last days, because it's literally, the Father says, I'm challenging every single person who has a name that is not for the name of salvation. You will not be able to stand. So it doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what you feel is righteous. It doesn't matter what you feel is holy. It has nothing to do with you. He's not even considering you as a thought to what he's going to do. You're not even coming on the screen as a thought. I'm going to do this because of them. Look at he said. He said, I'm doing this for your sake. So he's not doing it for your sakes. He's not taking your feelings, your emotions, or anything like that into consideration. Ouch. Think about it. If it has nothing to do with your sake, why would he take your thoughts or emotions into consideration? Hold on, we need a closer look on it. If it has nothing to do for your sakes, your emotions is your sakes. Your thoughts is your sake. What you feel is your sake. But if it has nothing to do for your sake, why would your emotions matter? His name is his name. His name is outside of your emotions. His name is outside of what you think. His name existed before you were brought forth. So why would it have anything to do with you? Oh, it's because I was born of Israel. Why would it have anything to do with that? Think about it. This is nothing about the people, but everything about his name. Everything. Let's go. I know it's a humbling word today, boy. It's a humbling word. He said, yep, my people got to take this L. He said, my people got to take this L. Jazz is going in. He's a necromancy, ancestor worship, witchcraft, sorcery, whoredom, intermarrying with other nation bloodlines are why the Father threw our rebellious ancestors out of his land. Yep, my people, we got to take this L because our ancestors fed it up and effed it up, and we still ain't right. Today, the Father is merciful and is true to his name and to his word. O house of Israel, watch this. But for my holy name's sake, would not the Holy Spirit be coming in his name? Because the Holy Spirit is called Holy Spirit. But for my holy name's sake, which you have profaned among the heathen, wherever you went. So everywhere you're going, you are profaning his name. Watch this. And I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which you have profaned in the midst of them. And the heathen shall know that I am Yah, saith the Father, when I shall be sanctified, watch this, in you before their eyes. So while you're amongst the heathen nations, he is going to clean you up. Now, what in the world will be close to his name that you're messing it up in front of the people? For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries and will bring you into your own land. Notice he said your own land. My country, 'tis of thee, is not your own land. So everyone who keeps talking about America is it, and they just came through and they just took over us while we were in America because we was here first. The scriptures speak against your ignorant self. It speaks against you. Like people just don't want to believe the truth. It's like hard to believe the truth. It's just hard to believe what's written. But it's easy to believe that you was already here and then they came over and just took you from your land, from America being your homeland. It's so easy to believe that. But it's hard to believe what is written. But then you'll say in the same breath, I believe Yahuwah. I believe him. But then he come and tell you, hey, I'm going to bring you into your own land. And we'll bring you to, if you're already in your own land, why you got to bring you to your own land if you're there? If America is it, he should say, then I'm going to leave you in your own land. I'm just going to remove those who came into your land. But you don't see that. But I believe the blood that's inside of them is crying out. So those who think that they're Indian, then you might be Indian. You may not be of the niggas. And I mean, we are niggas. N-G-A-A. And notice there is no name or no regulation of this name. Niggas literally means ancient people. Not the people, but the ancient people. Notice there is no name at all about this, but then they will go through and just change it and write an I, and then we would add an extra G to it, remove the A, and we got nigga. Now we're profaning a name amongst our people. We're profaning a name. They're going to call us niggers, which is constantly still profaning the name. When actually, it would be one G instead of Niger. It would be a G right there, and it would be actually that removed, and you have nigga. Which means ancient people. That is not information that is around the world. But it's powerful. But then we will change it also to what? To Negro. All these different aspects of this name. This is the only name I could think of that we will go around proclaiming everywhere we went. Everywhere we went, we call ourselves what? Niggas. When actually it would be niggas. Look what it's in here. It goes right into, watch this, the ancient West African kingdoms, Ghana, Mali, and Songhai. Look at this. When you bring up the word niggas, it brings up literally where it comes up from. Ancient West African kingdoms, Ghana, Mali, and Songhai. Look exactly what we put in. Africa, Naga, ancient people. Why in the world would it bring up Mali? Why in the world would it bring up Ghana? Why in the world would it bring up Songhai? I didn't write any specific name. All I wrote was Africa, nigga, ancient people, and it brought up 3 places: Ghana, Mali, and Songhai. Ancient West African kingdoms. Why? You write in the truth, you get the true answer. The land was broken up like 3 measures of meal. Look how it's going into the little circles. Huh? Why is it doing this? Why? Why is it doing this? When we found out recently that from Mali, all gold came from. Any gold nuggets, it came from Mali kingdom. There was no gold that did not come from the Mali kingdom. All gold belonged to the king. All of it. So then the Midas touch will come from Mali. So everything has been representation of the Mali kingdom. Mali was the most powerful kingdom on the earth, and you hear less about it, but only disease and destruction hitting over there in Nigeria or Niger, which would be the nigga, ancient people, ancient kingdoms. Talk to me. Everybody always get quiet. I be wanting y'all to speak and say something. I'm just saying. Talk to me. So Ezekiel says, and will bring you into your own land. Then, watch this. Watch this. After you get to the land, and will bring you into your own land. You have to look at the process. After you get to your land, then, wait a minute, hold up. You didn't say before. So before you get to the land, you dirty. And will bring you into your own land. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and you shall be clean. From all your filthiness and from all your idols will I cleanse you. After you get to the land. Hold up. Not before, but after. So if you're not in the land, what you think you are in and what you think you have, you don't have. So your righteousness that you perceive you have is null and void. I'm just saying what the word said. It says you're filthy until you get to the land. So anyone will be judging anyone over here in the land. You wouldn't have a voice to speak on them at all. Why? Because you're filthy as you're in the other nations right now. Keeping what the other nations keep. Keeping what your so-called teachers are teaching you in the other nations. You only become clean after you get sprinkled with water. And the water is the washing of the word here in the land. Just saying. So it's good. Kind of quiet in the sanctuary today. Just kind of quiet. It's not much speaking, talking going on. Go back to YouTube. I think someone might be saying something there. We are learning on this Sabbath day taking it in, constantly learning, powerful. All right, so we got some speaking going on there. Please take a moment to like the broadcast if you can. Just yeah. Right after you put a mud hole in people, and then they be like, "Hey, while you at it, take a moment to like the broadcast." It's hilarious. All right, now, all right. So we're gonna show who the Father delights in. Okay, we're gonna show this once and for all. We're gonna bring this out. So now everyone talks about soul this, soul that, you know. We're going to show who the Father delights in, okay? So if he's not doing it for you, he's doing it for someone else, right? He's doing it. It's Isaiah 42. Let's go there. Okay. Now, I want to remember, I think I should give my testimony first before I do it. All right. So let's give the testimony again, as always, right? So this could be the beginning part of it. So before I would know anything, before you would know anything, before anyone would know anything, for the most part, this will be said. Hands already went up. My mouth has already said something. Now I'm ushered into his presence. You will suffer for my name's sake. Meaning, I already have his name. Behold, my messenger, or my name is coming from afar. So we got the namesake part already. So I'm not doing any of these things for the people of Israel, but I'm doing this for my name's sake. That means this person who's carrying my name, I'm doing it for him. So it's the same thing as what? Glorify that name. I've glorified it and I will glorify it again. I'm doing these things for one person. The one whom my soul delights in. There is no scripture where it shows where the Father delights, his soul delights in all of Israel. Not one. But it shows he delights in one person. That might be a hard pill to swallow, but dang on it, you're going to swallow it today. Let's go. All right, let's get it. Uh-oh. There it is. It says what? Here is my servant. Wait a minute. Is that the church? That's definitely the teacher who's teaching Bantuism, right? That's what it's serving. It didn't say servants. It says servant. Just saying. Am I making this up? Do it say what it says, or is it saying something different? Because my Bible is reading, here is my servant whom I uphold, my chosen one in whom my soul delights. Woo. Woo. Man. Ouch. There's no scripture that shows that the Father delights in all of Israel. But he shows right here that his soul delights in one person. One. Not everybody. One. Wow. So let's go ahead and look at that real quick. So we see the record of the Father saying, he said, number one, go on record in Ezekiel, I'm not doing this for you, Israel, but I'm doing this for one person. Who? The one who has my name. Here is my servant. Here is my servant whom I uphold. My chosen one in whom my soul delights. I will put my spirit on him, and he will bring justice to the nations. This is to one person and one person only. Should we look up the word soul? Let's find out what soul means. Because he's not doing it for everybody. He's doing it for one person. The one who his soul. Now watch this. That means out of all the people on the earth, the Father delights in one person on the earth. One. And people are like, that can't be possible. All right, then what about Noah? The Father only delighted in one person on the earth, and that was Noah. And he says, as it was in the days of Noah, so it will be in the times of the Son of Man. That means the Father will be delighting in one person on the earth, and that will be the Son of Man. An active or essential part, moving spirit, leader, the emotional nature of human beings. So meaning what? That is the essence. Out of the essence of everything that is of the Father, he says, I delight, the whole essence of me delights in this one person on the face of the earth. And that's why he will make this person, the one person who he loves the most, whom he delights in the most, he will make him king over his chosen people. Because the favor that he has upon, or that he hears that the one he delights in, he will cause this person to come near. Think about it. Why would he invite a person to come near and he don't delight in you? I'm just saying, don't make sense. The one who I don't delight in, I'm gonna make him come near me. Don't make sense. How can they walk together unless they be agreed? So the one he delights in, they would have to agree. This person will be allowed to speak on the behalf of the nation. The same nation who will be against him. The same nation who will speak a word against him. That's the same one whom the Father's going to bring near him and say, look, I'm doing this for your sake, because you have my name on you. Understand? And let me show you why. We're going to bring out who this one whom the Father delights in. I will put my spirit on him, and he will bring justice to the nations. He will not cry out or raise his voice, nor make his voice heard in the streets. A bruised reed he will not break, and a smoldering wick he will not extinguish. He will faithfully bring forth justice. He will not grow weak or discouraged. There is nothing you can say to him that makes him grow weak. There's nothing you can say to him or do to him that causes him to be discouraged. Oh, it just will not happen. I'm sorry. This person is not that way. He's not discouraged. Nothing discourages him. So there's nothing you can say, nothing you can do. There's nothing you can try to take away from him that will cause him to be discouraged. I'm going to walk away. That's not going to discourage him. That's not going to make him weak. I just won't come. Fine. That will not discourage him. That would not make him weak. All those different kind of tactics will be like, all right, you'll see in another way, like, well, that's the word being fulfilled. The word says you will do that. So the word will be his delight. Since he delights in the word, the Father delights in him. His delight is in the fear of Yah. He delights in the fear of Yah. So therefore the Father delights in him. You understand? In whom delights the fear of Yah. Watch. Isaiah 11. It says he delights in the fear of Yah. Therefore the Father will delight in him. But the Father delighted in him before he delighted in him. You understand? So there's nothing that anyone can say about him to the Father. The Father be like, you know what? I'm going to discard him. because you're saying this. Nope. Let's put it in here. And his delight is in the fear of Yah. Let's put it. He delights in the fear of the Lord. 11:3. And he will delight in the fear of, see? 11:3. And he will delight in the fear of Yah. He will not judge by what he sees, and he will not decide by what he hears. He will delight in the fear of Yah. So the fear of Yah is his delight. He will delight in obeying Yah. So there's going to be a symbol upon him showing obedience. The banner is the sign of obedience. And he will delight in the fear of Yah. And his delight shall be in the fear of Yah. And shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of Yah. That's his delight. His delight is in the fear. His delight. Notice it's not, his delight is not in women. Notice his delight is not in family. Notice his delight is not in anything else but in the fear of Yah. So there's nothing a person can throw at him. Money, titties, ass, fame, an image. There's nothing you can throw at him that will cause him to look like, all right, well, I'm going to do this for this. No, his delight is in the fear of Yah, period. That's what he delights in. So you don't bring him delight. The only thing that he delights in is in the fear of him. That is his pleasure. His pleasure is the fear of Yah. And that is also what the spirit of Yah is on his life. The fear of Yah. Does this make sense to anybody today? So when people try to take things away, I'm going to take this away. That doesn't mean nothing. His delight is in none of these things that a person can offer him. His delight is in obedience. He shall shine with the awesomeness of the Father. Is that not his glory? So the glory of Yah will be upon him is the fear of Yah. That's the glory. Look, and he shall shine with the awesomeness of Yah. The awesomeness of Yah will be his fear. In the spirit of the fear of Yah, he shall not judge according to appearance. So the glory is the fear of Yah. His greatest joy will be to obey Yah. Notice that women is not at the top of his list. Notice that his children is not there either. Notice that women, wives, girlfriends, friendship is not at the top of his list. Notice that fame, fortune, or being known is not the top of his list. Notice what the number one thing is: obedience. But don't you love me? Not more than I love being obedient. He's not a people pleaser. He don't care to please the people. The spirit of the fear of Yah is his greatest joy. His greatest joy will be to obey Yah. The Father seeketh for those who will worship him in spirit and in truth. Obedience. He shall be filled with the spirit of the fear of Yah and find pleasure in obeying him. His pleasure. He enjoys being obedient to the Father more than he enjoys sex. A pair of titties. Some ass. His family. Being liked. Being loved. Money. Fame. He can care less about his image as long as he is obedient. His delight will be in the fear of Yah, and his delight shall be in the fear of Yah. To refresh him in the fear of Yah. So the fear of Yah is like a breath of fresh air. I can breathe again. And his delight shall be the fear of Yah. Not by appearance shall he judge, nor by hearsay shall he decide. So stop thinking he's going to decide the way you decide, the way you think. He's going to be totally opposite of that. He will take delight in obeying the Father. Do you understand? To refresh him in the fear of Yah. A refreshing means like almost like daily. He's refreshed to be obedient. So it doesn't matter what you throw at him. Doesn't matter what you try to threaten him with. It is better to obey Yah than to obey man. All right? This is the most important thing. Now, let's bring up the opposite part. Let's look. Saul's disobedience. Let's see what happened. Why did Saul do what he did? Samuel also said unto Saul, the Father sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel. Now therefore hearken thou unto the voice of Yah. Thus saith the Father of hosts. I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way, when he came up from Egypt. Now go and smite Amalek, and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass. And Saul gathered the people together and numbered them, and tell him 200,000 footmen and 2,000 men of Judah. And Saul came to a city, Amalek, and laid wait in the valley. And Saul said unto the Kenites, go, depart, get you down from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them. For you show kindness to all the children of Israel when they came up out of Egypt. So the Kenites departed from among Amalekites, and Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah until thou comest unto Shur, or Asher, that is over against Egypt. That is over against Egypt, meaning it's going to be close by Egypt. So Asher, this is what this is going to be, Shur. Shur is actually, watch this, Asher. Asher, Africa. So he smote them from one place to the next. Watch this. This is from the Gambia. Look at this. The tribe of Asher in West Africa. The Gambian people. What's good? Huh? Couture. And look at this place called Manna. Place of bread, right? Manna means bread from heaven. Look where it's found at. In the doorway. Bara. Saragunda. Banjul. It's the same thing. You was banished The Jews were banished. Ban-Jew. Banish. From the place where I banished you. Banishment. What's banish means? To be put out the land, right? If it's the father's land, that means the father kicked you out. You were banished. So now watch this. We got different acronyms going on, and most people don't even understand it's happening all around them. Showing them where the land is, but constantly people still looking at some other place. You were banished. To require by authority to leave a country. Wait, to require by authority. Is not the father the authority? A dictator who banishes anyone who opposes him, he was banished from the court. Now, to clear away, to dispel, which would mean what? The diaspora, right? Banish. Now, you have
Banish.
what? These people were considered to be not the Jews, but the Jews. A Jew nation. A people who was chosen to the Father. A precious stone or gem. That's exactly. Now,
Jewel.
let's put it together. What about we put it jewels? Almost like July, right? Wow, jewels bring forth Yule. Meaning what? This is the same time they came in and destroyed us on their holidays. I told you, it's in the book of Jubilees. Every 25th of the month, they were doing something to our people. So each time you celebrating the feast days or celebrating their holidays, you are celebrating the time when we were being ostracized, when we were being destroyed by the nations. So to keep any of the holidays is to literally join in killing us, destroying us, and being one against us, not for us. That's why the Father said, anyone keeping any holidays are what? There's a green light on your life. Because you are joining in what? People messing you up. What's the meaning of the jewels? I see something in Nigerian music. Famous results for jewels. DJ Jules, Nigerian music. Why is this stuff keeps coming up? Jules, we got Christmas songs. Look at that. Showing you. They was destroying you around Christmas. So how the Messiah gonna be born around the same time that they're destroying you? Make that make sense now. Make it make sense. How is the one who is so-called Hebrew going to also be destroyed? You're going to be destroyed around the same time of what they say his birthday is. Make that make sense. So at the same time as his jubilations, the same time you're being destroyed. Huh? I'm just saying. Y'all see the connections. Now watch this. Now let's bring it all together. Ban, Jew. Banjul. The Jews were banished. The city of Banjul, capital and fourth largest city of the Gambia. Banjul. The Jews were banished. Bam. What's good? How we doing? Acronyms. Showing you forth, and we brought this out before. We brought it out before. But we keep seeing all this stuff keep showing up. And we see now Asher is right here inside of Banjul. Everything is in the way. Everything that we need is right here in the way. So we see now a different standpoint of where people would say Asher is. Asher would be over here. He said like he smoted them from one place over into Asher. We still over in the Banjul. We're still in Saragunda. We're still here. So a fight is taking place in the scripture. So smote the Amalekites from Havilah until thou comest unto Asher, that is over against Egypt. And he took Agag, the king of Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. Both Saul and the people spared Agag, and the best of the sheep, and the oxen, and the fatlings, and the lambs, and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them, but everything that was vile and refused, that they destroyed utterly. Now watch this. There was something I want to bring out that is straight up crazy, but I noticed it. And I just want to see if people could see the same thing that I'm noticing a little bit. So I'm going to bring up Gambia real quick and see if y'all can see the same thing I'm seeing. But something is sticking out to me. And it's like that most people probably won't see it. But I'm going to bring it out when I need a map. Gambia map, all right? And let me see if we can bring this out. Because it's mind-boggling. Like, but it's speaking volumes. And I just want to see if I'm making it up, or if other people can see what I'm seeing. All right. And we're almost done. Okay. We'll do this. Is it me? Or does this thing look also like an animal or some sort? Like it's like a beast. It said Leviathan is in the ocean and he's going to be destroyed. This look like a long tail, and this looked like some legs, maybe an arm or something, and maybe an arm, and it looked like the beast's mouth opening up or something. I could be wrong, but I'm saying this just looks like an animal or some kind of sea beast or sea creature. But I'm just saying. But I could be wrong. But that's what I keep saying. I keep saying this beast, this creature, they just keeps showing up. No matter where I go, I see this creature showing up. Can y'all see it too? Someone says a lizard, right? Like, and the same thing, the Leviathan would be like a freaking lizard. Look, but it's in the water. It's made up of the water. Like there's something underneath here hiding. It says Leviathan is literally in the water, and it's going straight from the water. It's opening up from the water right into here. Is there anything else like that? There is something here. And it's a long tail. Look, it stops and then it goes into a little small stream all the way down here. But right here, this thing is thick. I'm just asking questions. That's it. I wonder if anyone noticed that. Because it sticks out to me. Every single time. Look, right there. You can see it. But it's like something very prominent there. The Gambia is divided into 5 regions. These are Central River. That's the center. Lower River, North Bank, Upper River, and West Coast. Central River is the largest region by area, while the West Coast is the most populous one. Central River is the largest region by area, while the West Coast is the most populous one, meaning it's more famous. But the Central River is the largest. People didn't know that. That means that river goes everywhere into the world. It's the largest region by area. But it's the least talked about in the earth. The other one is more populous, but it's smaller than the Central River. The Gambia is situated on both sides of the lower reaches of the Gambia River, the nation's namesake. Look at it. The nation's namesake. Look at this. For my namesake, the nation's namesake, which flows through the center of the Gambia and empties. Look what it says. I will not do this for your sake, but for my name's sake. Woo! Boy, you can't make this stuff up. My name's sake. Seriously? Seriously. Look at this. The subtropical county is a narrow strip of land. Enter in by the narrow gate. Can someone please talk to me real quick? I'm just saying. Talk to me. Anybody saying this what I'm saying? Are we all going crazy together at the same time? That's what it is. We all going crazy at the same time. That's what it is. We losing our brain right now. We just losing it. Because this stuff is so obvious. Someone says, yes, it appears to be like a salamander or a dragon or something in the water. Exactly. Exactly. The abominable holidays and their owl feasts. Exactly, family. Exactly. See how we bringing all this stuff out? Here's the narrow road right here. Enter in by the straight and narrow gate. It's telling you that Gambia is that narrow strip of land. Enter in by the narrow gate, narrow strip of land. Here is the narrow gate on either side of the Gambia River, which means this is the Jordan River. River Jordan. Now watch this. The Sea of Galilee has to be refilled. The Sea of Galilee is going away. The Sea of Galilee is disappearing. Sea of Galilee is disappearing. I wonder why the Sea of Galilee is disappearing. See? Sea of Galilee disappearing at an alarming rate. How in the world can the Sea of Galilee be disappearing? Make that make sense. Unless this was never the Sea of Galilee. Talk to me, somebody.
The Israeli media sounds the alarm time and time again. There is no water. Water consumption should be reduced. Since the main source of water in Israel is the Sea of Galilee.
This is 2011. The Sea of Galilee disappearing at an alarming rate. How in the world can the Sea of Galilee disappear? What is happening here, buddy? What is happening here? Why is the Sea of Galilee, or also is called Lake Kinneret, is in fact the only natural water reservoir in the country? How is the Sea of Galilee disappearing, buddy? Please tell me. Please, oh please, Israel, show me how your water supply is delivered. How is it drying up? It's the Sea of Galilee, buddy. For goodness sake, it's the same sea where the Messiah should have been walking upon, right? Unless your place is not it, buddy. Let's go see that.
To investigate and indeed found a very sad sight.
The Sea of Galilee, or as it is called in Israel, Lake Kinneret, is in fact the
Or
only
where it's
natural
called in
water
Israel.
reservoir.
Meaning what? This don't have to be the Sea of Galilee for real, the Bible, but we're calling this place the Sea of Galilee, according to our tourist site. And Zach, we're actually taking tourists right now. If you pay $5,000, we will show you where they laid him. Come and see where they laid our Messiah, whom we call Jesus, for he is risen again. Right now, we are taking tours right now. Understand, this does not include your, this will include only your flight and maybe a couple of meals, but it does not include your flight details, okay? You have to play your flight details opposite of what we're going to show you, okay? All right, just want to show you that. We want to put that in, so $5,000 to tour the Holy Land, but this does not include your flights, okay? You have to pay extra for your flights. Pay extra, okay? Pay extra. And we're going to show you the disappearing Sea of Galilee. Also, this is going to be the same place where the Messiah is going to be brought forth in secret, okay? He's not going to reveal himself to the world until we reveal him, okay? It's a secret who the Messiah is, all right? Even though the Bible warns us of saying that the Messiah will not come in secret, that he will come out and say, hey, I'm him. There is no one on the earth right now telling you it's him. He says when they say he's in the desert or he's in his secret rooms, the upper rooms, do not believe. Meaning what? He's going to be opposite. He's going to be telling you like, hey, do you got some time? I can show you how the Messiah. Hey, do you understand how the Bible talks about how the Son of Man is coming? He's going to be out there telling you to your face, I'm him. And the people will be like, no, you're not. Because I would know it. Why? Because the Father makes me special. Just saying. Let's go.
In the country. The lake has great historical significance and is supposed to provide the water for most of the population in Israel. However, in recent years, its water level has dropped sharply. Is there true cause for concern?
I remember how its colour used to be a stronger blue and the water was cleaner. Can you see the water line? Almost 5.5 meters are missing. All this was full of water. It was full. 7, 8 years ago. This was its maximum height, and slowly it began to drop.
We turn to the authority responsible for providing water to the population, hoping to learn why there is so much less water in Lake Kinneret today.
It's simply that there is less rain. Something has changed. Something has happened. We're talking about the whole region. The whole region is thirsty for water. I'm very worried about the lack of rain and about the drop of water level, both in Lake Kinneret and other water sources. This is the 7th year in a row without substantial rain. We're at the end of January, in a clear, beautiful day.
We learned further that the whole region of the Middle East shares the same plight as that of Lake Kinneret.
The whole drainage basin of the Kinneret is a very large area that includes a part of Israel, a part of Lebanon, and a part of Syria. This means that all of this huge area that is supposed to nourish this lake also suffers from lack of rain.
We expressed our concern, asking whether the situation is indeed so serious.
This is a line we wish very hard not to have reached at all. The bottom red line is the water level under which processes begin to take place, ones that are causing damage to the quality of the water and damage to this whole water source.
The reduction in water quantity of the Sea of Galilee has many implications, pertaining to more than just drinking water.
Part of the concern of reaching low levels is that the whole fabric of fauna and flora may sustain permanent damage.
And indeed, fishermen that we met seemed to be deeply worried.
This situation has serious effects on the fish. They should be coming close to the shore to lay their eggs, but they are not coming now. When there was water and it was cleaner, you could drop a net anywhere and catch fish, huge quantities of them. Now the fish are extinct. Everything here starts to disappear.
People's livelihoods have been affected also.
People in Tiberias used to make their living mostly from fishing. Today, sadly, there are no fish. The water level is going down. The old fishermen are tired. Only a few have remained here.
And what does Kinneret's Water Authority spokesman think of the current situation?
It's obvious that when the water level is dropping and the level of saltiness goes up, changes would occur in all aspects of life in the lake, and certainly that could result in a total reversal, wherein the lake would become a dead lake. There is no denying that this is a big problem, and I'm very worried.
NTD News, Israel.
Now, I want you to notice how they put the Sea of Galilee and they put it close to the River Jordan. The Sea of Galilee closed by River Jordan. So that means that the Sea of Galilee is going to be closed by the River Jordan. We see that by them. Now, let's go find this out with Kenya. Let me see. Definitely Kenya got to have it. Kenya fishing lake or ocean, right? Turkana. What about South Africa? Fishing. Tiny trouts. What about Congo fishing? What about Angola fishing? What about Gambia fishing? Look at all this fish coming up. I didn't see a lot of fish coming up here, but seen people keeping separate fishes. But look at this, like there's a lot of fish right there. A lot of fish right there. Like this is a market for fishing. Now, there's also that begins to show that this place is the narrow way. Where is it? Not that one. Yep, it's right here. Look where it points us at to. Remember, it said that the Jordan, it said that the Sea of Galilee was next to the River Jordan. Welcome to the River Jordan. Markets. Look at this. Gambia is an excellent destination for travelers interested in Africa. Despite its small size, it's an excellent coastline, dense forest inland, a river surrounded by markets and fishermen. I will make you fishers of men, right? And it's divided into by the river of the same name, the Jordan River. The Gambia follows the course of the river, Jordan River, of the same name that rises from the Fota de Jalon Massif in Guinea to the territory is alluvial plain of the Gambian River, which is the Jordan River, flanked by some low hills. The highest point is only 53 miles above sea level and is less than 50 kilometers wide as its widest point. Boom. Watch. When to go to the Gambia. Gambia's climate is subtropical with 2 seasons, the cool and the dry season from November to June, and the hot and rainy season from July to October. Unfortunately, rainfall has decreased by 30% in the last 30 years. History of the Gambia, historically, culturally, and linguistically linked to Senegal. Gambia was divided from its neighbor in the 18th century by France and England. Deuteronomy. So we got to put back what the enemy broke up. They divided my land, right? They divided my land. Concerning Gad, what did he say? He said something about the land. Concerning Gad, he says, blessed is he who enlarges the domain of Gad, meaning what? He puts them back together. The land that has been separated, just like they just got through telling you, is lined up with scripture. And of Gad, he said, blessed be he who enlarges Gad. Blessed is he who enlarges the domain of Gad. What did they say? Senegal, Gambia was divided from its neighbor in the 18th century by France and England. That means we are what? Under attack. We are in slavery in the 18th century. Here is the link to where everything goes right back to. And of Gad, he said, blessed be he that enlarges Gad. He dwells as a king and tears the arm and the crown of his head. Who? The French. He removes their authority. The same ones who did this, which is France and England. Now watch this. Most of the region was conquered by France, but a narrow piece of land around the Gambia River, Jordan River, was succeeded to England. He dwells as a lion and tears the arm, France, and the crown of his head, Greece. England. France, England. Arm, head. Make sense? Narrow piece of land. The narrow road. Enter in by the narrow gate. Strive to enter in through the Gambia. Strive to enter in through the narrow gate. Look right here. It's right there. Tell you, narrow piece of land, narrow gate. Strive to enter through. What does it mean to strive? Let's look what strive means first. Strive means to work. That means you're gonna have to work at this. Work to get here. Do whatever you got to do to get here. Work vigorously. Put energy. Devote yourself. Don't look nowhere else. Devote serious effort or energy. Endeavor. Contend. Bang away. Beaver. Dig away. Drive. Endeavor. Hump. Hustle. Woo. Sweat. Struggle. Toil. Strain. Slave. That's powerful. Slave to enter in through the narrow gate. Plug. Plow. Anyone putting their hand to the plow. Woo. And looking back is not fit for the kingdom. Anyone, what? Plowing. Right? And looking back. So once you got here to the land and you start looking back, you ain't fit. I don't care what kind of circumstances you try to put up. Anyone putting, watch this, their hand to the plow and looking back to America, you unfit. So it's just now put strive, and we put plowing now to the gate. Messiah replied, no one who puts a hand to the plow and looks back is fit for the service of the kingdom or fit for service in the kingdom of Yah. Watch this. No one who puts their hand to the Gambia and looks back at America is fit to be in the kingdom. Right there under your nose. No one, and it means no one. That means male, female, child, group, whatever. No one who puts his hand to the plow. The plow we need to see is the straight and narrow gate. You came in with the intent to make it, and then things get hard. Now you want to leave. You're not fit. Messiah said to him, no one having laid, watch this, no one, nobody having laid the hand upon the plow, no one having laid their hand upon the Gambia and looking on the things behind, well, in America, I had this and I could do, is fit for the kingdom of Yah. So if your mindset is thinking it's going to be so much better for you in America, after coming here, you are sadly mistaken. And the word right here speaks. If you're here in the Gambia, plow, strive, plow to enter here. Labor, peg away, work, tug, travail to enter here. And then you begin to look back, you ain't fit. If your mindset think you gonna have it much better back in America because of the thing, then you deserve to stay in America. You deserve to die in America too. You don't deserve to come back. Strive, plow to enter through the narrow gate. For many, I say to you, will seek to enter and will not be able. So if your black behind is here, keep your butt where it is. But if you go, don't come back. I'm not asking you to come back. I don't care what kind of excuse you give, what you got to say. Don't come back. You are not welcome back. If you've already been here, and I'm like, the invitation has been extended to you to go back, I'm gonna tell the Father, do not welcome them back. They was here, and then they think you can take care of them. Bye-bye. Nice seeing you. Have another life somewhere else. You might as well go ahead and get shot, take the mark of the beast, and go on with your miserable life. If you come up here being miserable, that's because you're a miserable person. Miserable loves company. Miserable people love to be miserable. There's nothing you can do to make them happy. They're just miserable. When once the master of the house has risen up and shut the door and you begin to stand outside and do what? You're going to knock. Knock at the door saying, Master, Master, King Yeshaya, open up for me. And he will answer you and say to you, I do not know you. Where are you from? But watch this. I was just there, but I left. So what? I don't know you. Then you will begin to say, watch this. We ate and drank in your presence. This is for anyone who think they're going to go back to America and think you're going to come back. You're going to be the same ones that say, well, we ate and drank in your presence. That means you were actually here and left and thought you was going to come back and think it was going to be the same. But the door's going to be closed to you because you did not take heed to my Father's word. You took heed to what you felt will be all right. Instead of you standing on faith, you're out of faith and think, if I go back to the States, it'll be so much better for me. If you are here now and things are not going the way you want to go, Father's probably looking for you to do something, for you to change. It's not on him, it's on you. But if you think you're going to do better in the States and then think you're going to come back here afterwards, so be it. But I'm going to ask the Father to close the door. Whatever that may be. That might be you might die in the States. You might get trapped in the States. I have court cases I'm supposed to be in that. Do you think I care about the court case? Do you really think I care about the court case? No, I don't. Do you think I care a damn about any law? I don't care about nobody's law except the Father's law. That's it. You think I care about their feelings? Nope, I don't. You supposed to be in the rain here. I don't care what you thought I was supposed to be in here doing. I don't care. We ate and drank in your presence and you taught, watch this, in our streets. I saw you teach live. But he will say, I tell you, I do not know you. He's telling you my answer. Notice the Messiah is speaking and telling you, like, this is what the Son of Man is going to do. If you put your hands to the plow and look back, he's going to say these words to you. Behold, he will say to you, I tell you, I do not know you. Where you are from. Watch this. Depart from me, all you workers of iniquity, meaning what? You lawless people. You did not take heed to what the words say do. You took heed to what you felt you should do. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth when you see Abraham and Isaac, and watch this, and Jacob, and all the prophets in the kingdom of Yah, and you yourselves are thrust out. So once you get here to the Gambia, stay here. Stop looking back, Rachel. Stop looking back, Uncle Kenny. Stop looking back, anyone else who this applies to. If you made it here, stay here. Because if you leave, I'm asking that he closes the door right before you get time to come back. They will come from the east and west and from the north and the south and sit down in the kingdom of Yah. And indeed, there will be those who are last who will be first, and there are first who will be last. Wow. Sad to say, my king, some who were close to Goshen but not in Goshen have already left despite my warning them of what time you told us it is. Wow. So be it. Now let me show you why this king was chosen. We're bringing these things out. And he took Agag and the king of the Amalekites alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. But Saul and the people spared Agag and the best of the sheep and the oxen and the fatlings and the lambs and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them, but everything that was vile and refused, that they destroyed utterly. Samuel denounced Saul, but why? Watch this. Then came the word of Yah unto Samuel, saying, it repenteth me that I have set up Saul to be king. This is the Father speaking about Saul. For he is turned back from following me, and have not performed my commandments. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto the Father all night. And when Samuel rose early to meet Saul in the morning, it was told Samuel, saying, Saul came to Carmel, and behold, he set him up a place, and is gone about, and passed on, and gone down to Gilgal. And Samuel came to Saul, and Saul said unto him, blessed be thou of Yah. I have performed the commandment of Yah. And Samuel said, what meaneth this bleating of sheep in mine ears, and the lowing of oxen which I hear? Meaning, just because you think you are following the Father doesn't mean you are, if you have not done what he told you to do. He told Saul to kill everything, not to lean to his own understanding. Well, this is some good sheep. I think the Father will take this if I give it as a sacrifice. That's what many of you give to the Father and say you're obeying to the Father. I'm obedience to him. I'm his people. But you have not done exactly what he told you to do. If he told you to follow his king, then dang on, that's what he means. It doesn't mean you choose the king you want to follow. Or you think like, well, King Jesus is my king. King Isa is my king. That's the one supposed to be coming back. Where's it said in the scriptures that he's coming back to be your king? Please find that in the scripture right now where it says that the Messiah, whom they call Jesus, is coming back to be your king. Please tell me. Write it out in the scriptures. Write it out. And he will come back and be the king of the people. Write it out. Find the scripture, and I'll shut up about it. Or does it say King David will be the king over its people? Because if that's the case, then all these people keep saying that King Jesus is it. You are a liar, and the truth is not in you. For everyone who thinks it's going to be the only begotten Son of Yah, the one whom they call the Word, as everyone knows in the world, to be the begotten Son that came from Mary, you are also a liar, and the truth is not in you as well. Because there's no scripture that said he will be the king of the people. It says King David. Show me. Prove me wrong. Else, stupidos, those who trust in your own righteousness, you are nothing but a sacrifice getting ready for the fire. Around the Gambia River was also seceded to England. It was a small area that became the Gambia. What was it before it was the Gambia? Huh? What was this place called before it became the Gambia? The Gambia has historical economic roots in the slave trade. Oh my goodness. With European states. Different ethnic groups live in the Gambia, each preserving its own language and tradition. The Mandinga is the largest by the Fula, Wolof, Jola, Sarahu. It'd be like Sarah Jews, right? Sears, Biancas, the Creole people. Locally known as Aku, constitute one of the smallest ethnic minorities in the Gambia. Look at this. Slavery started here. This would be Judah then, right? Judah, right here. Huh? Welcome to the underground slave house. That's the house of figs. The house of figs means a house of affliction. The Father's house. Situated under this building, you are seeing from a view, and more information, contact the curator. This is all in the Gambia. Since the 15th and 17th century. Make it make sense. Talk to me. Formerly Bathurst. Let's find out Bathurst. Is Bathurst the same thing as freaking Bethany? Let's find out what Bathurst means. Bathurst. Meaning what? Let's do it in Hebrew. Because we brought this out before. Bathurst is going to take us to a place of slavery. It's going to take us to the place of the Jews. Look at this. Benjamin. Wow. Benjamin Bathurst. Wow. Where Benjamin is, Judah's there too, right? I'm just saying. I'm just asking questions. That's all. Don't mind me. I'm just saying how Bathurst came up and how Benjamin showed up. I'm just, saying how Benjamin and Judah, how they go hand in hand together, whatnot, Wooded Hill. Badu battle. Anglo-Saxon tribes of Britain. That sounds familiar. They said our people came from Anglo-Saxons, or Anglo-Saxons conquered them. I'm just saying, but we see that happen with the Bathurst. That's the Gambia, right? So just saying, which one is it, right? Ancient minor or ancient manor. Isn't that the same thing? Like just some things is going on here. When we did this in Google, it brought up a little bit more. But right now we're in DuckDuckGo. So let me see if I can put up Google. Copy. Let's go for Google. Because I brought this up before. There was a whole bunch more it was bringing out. One who came from Bathurst. What about in Hebrew? It's going to take us into Bethany. Queen of Bathurst. Bathurst. You see it, Bathurst, same thing as Bethany. That's what this place is. Bathurst is Bethany. And that's what they don't want you to see. Bathurst is Bethany. And we brought that up, and we all know that Bethany is what? Meaning it's a house of figs. House of figs. Notice where all this stuff is taking place. Same place where Lazarus was raised up. The name Bethany. Afflict. Watch this. Or sing. Wow. Wow. Now, Judah is the singers of the bunch. Afflict or sing. House of figs. House of affliction. They said all the same things. Banjul. The Jews were banned. Formerly Bathurst or Bethany is the capital of Gambia. Is located on Saint. Why in the world is this called Saint Mary's Island? When the Messiah's mother's name Mary or Miriam? Saint Mary's Island. I'm just asking questions. The Messiah's mother name was Mary. Where the Gambia River, that's the Jordan River right there, flows into the Atlantic Ocean. Street, so we got the museum on Gloucester Street, exhibits objects from the Gambia's colonial past and young history. The main economy of the city is peanut processing. George Washington Carver came from here. There's also wood, beeswax, palm oil, and hides. Watch this. The city is famous for its presence of a botanical garden. Wouldn't that be the same thing, the Garden of Eden? Botanical garden. Isn't that a healthy garden? Botanical garden, meaning what? Greenhouse for culture, study, as exhibition, and special plants. That means what? Where you can get healing from. These plants over here will heal the body. Over in the Gambia River, right? So we need to make a trip over to the Gambia River, right? That's where we got to go. Rapid expansion of European colonies around the globe in the 18th century. Botanical gardens were established in the tropics. That means the Europeans would come over here and try to take some of the plants from here and plant them elsewhere in the world. The economic botany became a focus with the hot at the Royal Botanic Gardens coup. But it all started here in the Gambia. The exotic plants, tropical plants, airplane plants, alpine plants came from here in the Gambia. Associated with herbaria in the Gambia. The botanical garden, which would be the same thing like the Garden of Eden, is here. Of special plants. A garden, often with greenhouses for culture, study, and an exhibition of special plants. Why aren't these plants like what? So why wouldn't they say what these plants really are? What do you mean by special plants? What makes them so special? Because they got leaves? Mm-mm-mm. A place where plants are cultivated for scientific, educational, and ornamental purposes, often including a library or herbarium and greenhouses and arboretum. Wow, a garden for exhibition, the scientific study collected growing plants. This would be where the Garden of Eden will be at. I believe the Garden of Eden is hidden. Yeah. We got crocodiles. City on the southern part of the border with Senegal with transport possibility to Guinea. The town, watch this, I love it. The town is a branch banking center. Funny. Market center for peanuts, groundnuts, rice, cattle, among food, cattle. Come on now. All this. Mangroves. Trading center. The largest fishery center in Gambia. Gunjor Fishing Village. The village can easily be reached from Banjul. Look what you got to go to. You have to go to the place where the Jews were banished at to reach the village of Jufaray. That's powerful. You cannot, and luxury resort. Here you can find beautiful beach and luxury resort. This will literally be our land. Our land was always by the beaches or by the land or rivers. Like, but he said, thou leadest beside the river, the still waters, right? Still waters is the Gambian River. You notice the Gambian River does not move. There is no rustling of the water. Look what you got up in here. You got all these wild animals in it. Hippopotamus, big old fishes. This is like Jamboree. Almost like what? A celebration. A place where they would probably keep the feast. Jamboree. Jamboree. This is the River Jordan. So then watch this. I don't know how to spell this, but let's see. So we would be what? Tangi. I don't know how to spell that. I think it's Tangi River. I think it's I spelled it wrong. Tangi River, Gambia. That's what this is. There, right here. Tangi Fishing Village. See? This right here would be what? This is the River Jordan. This is the Sea of Galilee. This would be the Sea of Galilee. This is where the fishing is done at. And it's huge. Everybody and their mama come here. This is the Sea of Galilee. That's why they keep saying it's disappearing everywhere else. Because the Sea of Galilee is right here. This is where the Sea of Galilee is. right when they're doing, look at this, the Gambia River's coming up right here. Boom. This right here is the River Jordan. And right next to it is the Sea of Galilee, which will be what? The Tangi River. You see how the Tangi River, you bring up the Tangi River and it brings up also the Gambia River. Just like we seen earlier when we went to Sea of Galilee and they had over there the Jordan River. They both come together. Notice you cannot get into the Tangi River without going straight to the Gambia River. I didn't put no other river. I said Tangi River, Gambia. Then we move Gambia. Maybe it might not give us the Gambian River then. Then let me put it in Africa though, so they know exactly where we're at. West Africa. Look what it brings us into: Niger, Mali, and Senegal. Why does it bring up all that? Why is this one area brings up all the area where we need to be at? Why does it bring up that? Why does it give us every single place where we need to be? Notice where it stops at. All this area is being given into our hands. This is the cutoff point for every single thing. All right, y'all need to notice that. This is the cutoff point. Enter in by the straight and narrow gate. This is all right here, the straight and narrow gate. Right here, all this right here, right? You enter in through here. This is it. Notice everything else is cut off. Everything else is cut off. We don't need to go there because it's going to be great tribulation in the other areas. Notice it brings up three things all the time: Mali, Senegal, and Gambia. All this right here will be the land that we will be sent to inhabit. Now look how small or how huge that land is. But look, this is here it is, right here again. Notice it don't go no further than that. All we put in was what? The Tangi River, West Africa. Boom. And it brought up those three things. And look what it brings up for West Africa. It also brings in the Congo. That's powerful, right? West Africa. Boom. Congo right there. Central African Republic, Congo, Gabon, Cameroon, Nigeria, Niger, Mali. Look at all this. Somebody lying. I'm just saying. Equatorial Guinea is right here in the Cameroon. All this stuff right here. So that means this part is cut off. So this part still would be the city. They said it would trample the city down. So this part is going to be trampled upon. Cameroon, Central African Republic, Congo, Gabon is going to be captured because this part right here is where the cutoff is. Nigeria, Niger, Mali, all that stuff. This is still part of West Africa. We see now it's a part of West Africa. The Equatorial Guinea is a part of West Africa, but it's cut off. Kingdoms of West Africa. If they're looking towards the east, we're looking towards the west. The Father's going in reverse of what people think it is. Right? Let's get back to Saul and why the Father chose what he chose. He has not so he thought he had did what he did. And he says, like, why do I hear the sound of bleating sheep in my ears and the lowing of oxen which I hear? Right? Then he goes on. Then Samuel said unto Saul, stay, and I will tell thee what the Father has said to me this night. And he says, watch this. And Saul said, they have brought them from the Amalekites for the people, spared the best of the sheep and of the oxen to sacrifice unto the Father. Watch this. Sacrifice. He says your Yah. He does not say it's his. It's not personal with him. They were sacrificed. They were held to sacrifice unto your Yah, Samuel. Yours. He didn't say his. For the people spare the best of the sheep and the oxen to sacrifice unto the Lord, or unto Yah, your Yah. To Yeshua, your Yah. And the rest we have utterly destroyed. Then Samuel said to Saul, stay, and I will tell you what Yeshua have said to me this night. And he said unto him, say on. And Samuel said, when thou wast little in thy own sight, was thou not made the head of the tribes of Israel? And Yeshua anointed thee king over Israel. And Yeshua sent thee on a journey and said, go and utterly destroy the sinners, the Amalekites, and fight against them until they be consumed. Wherefore then didst thou not obey? Wherefore then didst thou not obey the voice of Yah, but didst fly upon the spoil, and didst evil in the sight of Yah? Meaning what? It took spoil to get you to disobey the Father. It's powerful. You disobeyed the Father based off of spoils. So spoils have spoiled you. Ooh, that's not good. The spoils of the enemy have spoiled your heart towards the Father to be disobedient to him. Spoils have spoiled you. And Saul said unto Samuel, yea, I have obeyed the voice of Yah and have gone the way which the Father sent me, and have brought Agag, the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites. So I destroyed the Amalekites, but I left Amalek alive. Why? Because Saul is looking to prosper from Amalek. He is looking to prosper. He's not interested in doing what the Father say do. He's looking for positioning, even though the Father has positioned him. Watch this. But the people took the spoil. See? Sheep and oxen and the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed to sacrifice unto the Father. What's this again? Your Yah in Gilgal. Again, there's nothing personal with Samuel. With Saul. Everything is about, this is your Yah, Samuel. And we're doing everything according to what your Yah wants. None of it is his Yah. It's Samuel's Yah. There's no personal anything. This is not his father. This is a hired servant. Saul is a hired servant. He has no intention of following the Father. He does not fear him. Let's go. And Samuel said, have the Father as great, watch this, delight in burnt offerings and sacrifice. Remember, his delight is in what? Is in who? The one who has his name, which is his king, right? So the Father would have had delight in Saul, but Saul is doing some things messed up. Since his delight is not in the Father has no delight in Saul. And Samuel said, have the Father as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifice as in obeying the voice of Yah. That's why this king is going to choose the fear of Yah. To obey is better than sacrifice. That's going to be his joy. That's going to be his delight, is to be obedient. As in obeying the voice of Yah. Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice. So the Father is seeking for those who will obey, who will worship him in spirit and truth. Those who will obey him in spirit and in truth. Let's go. And to hearken than the fat of rams. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. So you could be a pretty face and rebellious as I don't know what. The Father don't know you. Well, I believe it's going to be done this way. We're going ahead with your belief. And I'm going to show you what the words say. And we're going to cook you just like a witch need to be cooked. We're going to cook you just like a warlock need to be cooked. Keep telling me what your beliefs is versus what this word say. Keep building up a case against you. And on the right judgment day, we're going to cook you. For rebellion is the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness. You ain't got no, I don't want to hear what the word says. Not from your mouth anyway. I want to hear it from somewhere else. All right. You're ready to get burnt then. Is as iniquity in idolatry. So the fact you don't want to hear it from my mouth, I want to hear it from someone else's mouth, is stubbornness. And is as iniquity as adultery. So therefore, stubbornness is the same thing as worshiping an idol. So your stubbornness is connected to your idolatry. Your stubbornness is connected to idolatry, and rebellion is connected to the same thing as witchcraft. So you witchcraft and idol worshipers. So to try to bring anything against the king, the father's looking at, number one, witchcraft, and he's looking at an idolater trying to bring something up to him against his king. Hilarious. Like, hilarious. What chance do you have of him listening to you? None. Because thou hast rejected, watch this, the word of Yah. So the word of Yah says what? To receive his king. So to reject him, now you have become as a witch or a warlock and also an idolater. Your words is that of sin, not of righteousness. Because thou hast rejected the word of Yah, he has also rejected thee from what? This, from being king. Now watch this. If a king opposes the word of Yah, then the father will reject the people who comes against him. Oh yeah. Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of the Father and thy words, because what did he say? Because I did what? Because I did what? No, negative. And thy words, because I feared the people. Oh, my milk of magnesium. You mean this tall person who is taller than anybody in the tribes, out of all the tribes, he's tallest. He feared the people more than he feared Yah? Wow. Do you see now why the Father says that his delight will be in the fear of Yah? Because the opposite was that of Saul. Saul feared the people. Meaning what? He valued being the people's choice. Saul was the people's choice. He was a king for the people. And thy words, because I feared the people. That means if the people are leaving, if they don't like what I'm talking about, then what? I'm going to change my tune. If the people don't like what I'm saying, I'm going to change what I'm doing. I'm going to switch up quickly so I can be liked by the people, so I can have popularity by the people. I guarantee you, if probably Mikhail Massa and all of them start to speak what I'm saying and say, the people will leave. We don't want to hear this. Saying the same thing Yas is saying. They're people pleasers. Christianity's always been people pleasers. Your pastor's always been a people pleaser. I'm going to say what the people like to hear. That's the same thing as having an itching ear. But you won't see it that way. But that's exactly what it is. So people ain't going to care. This person, the father's going to choose everything opposite of what this king is. So let's look at it. So his words is convicting him. Because I feared the people and did what? Obey their voice. Now go on, read verse. So he's going to choose a king who's going to fear him and obey his voice. Because Saul fears the people and obeyed their voice. Then he says, now therefore I pray thee, pardon my sin and turn again with me that I may worship the Father. And Samuel said unto Saul, I will not return with you, for you have rejected the word of the Father, and therefore the Father have rejected you from being king over Israel. And as Samuel turned about to go away, he laid hold upon the skirt of his mantle, and it rent. I love a prophet because it doesn't matter, because whatever you do, you say, your words and your actions be turned against you. You think you're going to do something? I'm going to do this. And that same very thing is the last act that you do. It becomes a word against you. That's why I love when people try to come against me, because the same words they use in that instance, the Father gives to me to use it against them as a word against them. They say this, well, what about this? I come up with a word that straight up goes against them, that literally now their last word or their last action becomes a prophecy against them. Every single time. Let's see what happens with Saul. And Samuel said unto him, the Father has rent the kingdom of Israel from thee this day. So Saul thought he was going to stop him by grabbing his skirt, grabbing his clothes. And as Samuel's pulling away, it ripped. He didn't get upset. He was like, the Father has ripped the kingdom from you this day. Just as you saw this skirt or this clothing get ripped in your hands, is the same way. So he has now a tangible sense of this prophecy that what? The Father has taken the kingdom from you this day, and you're holding the evidence of it in your hands. That is powerful. Everything you say at that moment when you're in the court of law with that prophet comes against you. Your last word, I'm telling you, that prophet will turn your words around on you, like, and this is exactly what's going to happen to you. The last word you said is going to be your downfall. The last thing you do is going to be your downfall. It's going to be turned against you. Once the prophet is spoken and then you say something against it, that becomes an evidence against you. That last word out of you is your response from the Father saying what's going to happen to you. So it's just best to be quiet, because your next word is your judgment against you. The Father has rent the kingdom of Israel from thee this day, and hath, watch this, given it to a neighbor of yours that is better. Woo! Not only am I taking the kingdom from you, he's going to give it to someone better than you. Ooh, in all ways, better than you. And also the strength of Israel will not lie nor repent. It won't change. For watch this. For he is not a man that he should repent. Meaning what? The Father has made his decision and rejected you as being king. And guess what? He's not going back on it. That means you are finished. Saul is no longer king of Israel. Just like that. So he was made king, and in the instance, it was ripped out of his hand. Just right now, he is no longer at this moment the king of Israel. His replacement is coming. Now watch how the Father gets over things so quickly. Then he said, watch this, I have sinned, yet honor me now, I pray thee, before the elders of my people. Do you understand? He cares about his image. Okay, I see what you just said to me, Samuel, but could you please just honor me before the elders of my people? Please come and sit with me. I don't want to lose my popularity amongst them. I care so much what people say about me. Please, I beg you, don't make me look bad in front of the people. That's all he cares about. That's all he cares about. All he cares about is pleasing the people. What is the people going to say about me now? What they going to say? What they going to say? Please, before the elders of my people, before the ancestors of my people, please. And before Israel, and turn again with me, that I may worship Yah before you. He cares about appearances and keeping them up in that sense. Now, I'm not saying you're supposed to let your body go. Let me look at y'all real quick. Let me help y'all out with that. I will never ever just say, like, you know what? You just get fatted out of shape, just dang on and don't do nothing about that. That is not right. That means you being gluttony as hell. If you need to push some plates back, do what you got to do. Don't let yourself go. and expect the Father to keep you up, man, the Father gonna keep me up by his spiritual strength. If you don't lift up a weight or you don't push up your own weight, you're gonna be let go. If you don't eat right, you will be let go in your face. So I'm not saying by all means, do not keep this up. Don't keep this up. Don't do that. All right? Men the same way. Keep yourself up. Women, keep yourself up. All right? If you was cute at first, stay cute. You know, people ask me like, how do you stay young? And I've been saying this for years. I told the Father, I said, if you keep me looking young, I would tell them it's by your grace that you keep me looking. It's by the grace of Yah that he keeps me looking young. I don't put it towards, oh, I put Noxzema on. I do cucumbers. I do fruits and berries. Do all that. No, it's the grace of the Father that preserves me and keeps me looking young. It's nothing that I'm doing. There's no foods that I eat. There's nothing. It is literally his grace. And I told him, I said, that's been when I was younger, in my teenage years, people thought I was like freaking what? 16, 17, people thought I was 12. You 12? 12? No, I ain't 12. How are you? I'm 16. You look 12. Oh, that's good. That means when you get about this age, you ain't gonna look your age. Okay. So I tell Father, like, Father, you keep me looking young. I'll tell them it is your grace. Let's see if we can tie that with scriptures. Your grace and mercy. Just saying. And I will dwell in the house of Yah, right? Forever. His grace and mercy will never forsake me. So keep your face up, right? Keep your appearance when it comes to your body up. If you got some titties, keep them up, right? Sometimes you use some cocoa butter, they firm them up, right? You know, if you need to firm up behind, do some squats. You know, let me show women how to do squats, right? Men can do them too, right? Squats for the booty, right? Squats to firm up the booty, right? We like jiggly and everything like that, but then we also like, you know what I'm saying, there's different things, right? Squats. There's so much stuff you can watch on YouTube to firm everything up, how to squat, butt lift, everything, right? 7 years, right? You just have to have a heart or even the mindset to want to do it. You can't talk about, oh, I'm getting this, and you don't do nothing to do something about it, right? There's tons of stuff you can do to shape, form, whatever you need to upkeep. All right? If you want to tighten up what you have, because some of y'all got big booty, it's nice. You want to tighten it up, squat. Firm it up. Men can do the same thing. We can tighten up our abs, our stomach, everything. Tighten up what is loose. You know what I'm saying? Love handles. It's all certain different exercises you can do. This right here, it's a squat right here. See what it is? It puts everything on out. You keep doing it a couple times in the day, you will start to firm everything up. You can jump up and down on steps. There's so many different things you can do inside your own home without going to a gym to firm up your tail. Look. Is she in the gym? No. Squat, it does a body or a booty good. Squatting does a booty good. Look at this right here. Now that's one of our women right there. That's one of our sisters right there. One of ours. Right? That's one of ours. Doing squats make your butt bigger. He said, say that. No. Look. Shut up and squat. 50 pound squats. 50 jump squats. 50, whatever that is. 50 sumo squats. Can you imagine that? Sumo wrestler. Repeat 3 times. When you feel like talking about somebody, go do some squats. Same thing with men. Go work out. If you angry, go work out. It didn't have that same energy afterwards. I guarantee you won't have it. You won't have it. Look at this. Same thing. You can take one knee, stretch the booty maximus out. Look at this. How many people can do this? Look at that. And you can start off slow. You ain't got to take it all day, but you can start off somewhere. We're going to need to run. I'm so serious. We got to run. Well, we got to run up some steps. You up and losing breath. Man, I need you right now. I can't move right now. I'm about to have a heart attack right here. No, we need you. Let's go. I can't move. I can't move right now. You almost sound like William Shatner. Why must I must beam up now. Scotty, please have mercy on me. King David, I'm out of shape. Please. You sound like William Shatner. Like your lungs has been shattered. Wake up your butt with a booty blasting workout. Bulgarian split squat. I guarantee you after these kind of workouts, you'll feel great. Toxins in your body that cause you to think negative and all that stuff, guess what? Dissipates. It's for me to judge people. That is my job. But for most of you, it is not your job. All right, we about to get ready to go get up out of here. Almost. Hold on. Y'all see what's going on right here. Because I fear the people, right? So Samuel turned again after Saul, and Saul worshipped the Father. But the Father has not changed. He says, even though I come back with you, doesn't mean that the Father's changed his mind, all right? He has said what he said, and he means what he said. He's not turning back on it. So even if I come back to you, so you can worship the Father this last time, it's a wrap, okay? Let's go. Then said Samuel, bring ye hither to me. So watch, if Samuel had left, Agag would have left, but the Father didn't want him to leave because he has to kill somebody. This is a prophet of the Father about to lay a sword straight to the guts of Agag. So I want y'all to understand that the prophet's job also can kill you, right? Right? Then Samuel said, what bring ye hither to me, Agag, the king of the Amalekites? Since you won't do it, Saul, I'm going to do it. Since you ain't got the balls to do it, I'm going to do it. And Agag came unto him delicately. Like he's what? Prancing around like, okay, I've received mercy. Let's see if it lasts all the way straight through. Watch this. Surely the bitterness of death is past. See, he thinks that everything is good. I could come out of darkness. Hey, how you doing, Samuel? You know what I'm saying? You always been my boy. You know what I'm saying? You the prophet of Yah and everything. He's trying to butter on up, and watch what Samuel about to do. I don't care about none of that. And Samuel said, as the sword has made women childless, because see, it was Samuel who received the word the first time, who gave it to the king. But the king is not going to follow. And now the father, that's why the father got to make the word of him to fit inside the king to make him obedient. Because first the king had to go get the word from the prophet. But now the father's got to put the word of himself inside of the king. The next king he has to put his word inside of him. And David says, what? Your word have I hid in my heart that I may not sin against you. Saul did not do that. Let's go. Sword have made women childless, so shall thy mother be childless among women. And Saul and Samuel hewed Agag in pieces before Yah in Gilgal. He chopped him up. He probably had like a axe or maybe a machete. Hewed means to chop up. He hewed him down. He began to cut him into pieces to make or shape with. Can you imagine him now? Strikes fourthly with a cutting instrument to fail, to uphold or conform rules. Hew to the tenets of the church. He literally chopped him down. Hew an oak. Hew a path through the underbush. To cut down with an axe, fail. To strike or cut, cleave, to make or shape with. Can you imagine? He is shaping his body parts as he is each slash. I want y'all to see this right here because I want y'all to see how graphic this becomes. How the word is not also just lovey-dovey, but he's taking a sword and he's cutting him to pieces, cutting him up. That is the word of the Father, and your butt's gonna die. I don't care if this person that got soft and weak towards you. With me, there is no soft spot. Die, even as the Father says you will die. It's very important that you cut people to pieces as they're supposed to be cut. You learn how to cut some chicken that way. Look at this. Then Samuel went to Ramah, and Saul went up to the house of Gibeah of Saul. And Samuel came no more. Watch this. And Samuel came no more to see Saul until the day of his death. He cut him off completely. Do you want to play with this? When the Father cuts you off, he don't have to come no more to you. Look what he did. He came no more to the king. After this day, when the Father literally cut and ripped the kingdom from Saul, Samuel kept no more friendship with the king the Father has cut off. They're not their friend on Facebook, Instagram. Want to know what they do? He cut them off. They are cut off. And Samuel came no more to see Saul. He didn't come to see him, check up on him. How you doing? I was just checking, see how y'all happen to be in the neighborhood. And I was just checking, see how you was doing. It's not like he don't know where the king lives at. He just cut him off completely. To see Saul until the day of his death. After he died, didn't he come and see him at his funeral? Nevertheless, Samuel mourned for Saul. And the Father repented that he had made Saul king over Israel. That means what? He regretted. I regretted that I made Saul king. Woo! That gives you shivers, like chills right there. For the Father to renounce you, to ever I'm sorry that I ever made you king. I'm sorry that I ever did that. I should have never did that. I should have never made you king. I regret that I did this. I regret that I chose you. I regret. Now let's watch this. Let's see what the Father does. Samuel anoints David as king. And the Father said to Samuel, how long wilt thou mourn for Saul, seeing I have rejected him from reigning over Israel? See what happens. What the father's going to choose. Fill thine horn with oil and go. I will send thee to Jesse the Bethlehemite. Oh my goodness. Bathhurst. Bethlehem. Bethany. Y'all understand now? I'm sending you to the Gambia. I'm sending you to Senegal. Oh, man. For I have provided me a king among his sons. Where at? In Bethlehem. Where at? In Bathurst. Where at? In Banjul. Where at? In Senegal. Where at? In Gambia. For I provided me a king among his sons. And Samuel said, how can I go? If Saul hear it, he will kill me. And the father said, take an heifer. Notice the father said that Saul will not kill you. The law of the king is still in play. Even though the father has rejected Saul as being king, still the power and authority of the king is still in play. The father didn't say, you ain't got to worry about him because I rejected him as being king. The father did not say that, because then the father would be coming against his authority of the king. The father has rejected him from being king, being king, or doing anything else for him. But now Samuel still needs to act accordingly to the king. Even though he's not going no further, no more towards Saul, no more to go visit him, he is acting accordingly to as Saul still being king. And notice the father did not say, you ain't got to worry about him because I rejected him as being king. The Messiah, the father says what? He has something for him. Come with a feast. Come with a sacrifice. So he says what? If Saul hear it, he will kill me. Notice the father says he will not kill you, because that would be a sure word. But the father does not say that. He says, and the father said, take an heifer with you and say, I'm come to sacrifice unto the Father. Meaning what? Saul still has authority at this time. Saul still has the ability and the authority to kill Samuel as a prophet. The king still reigns over the prophet. And he can kill him. And the father does not say, oh, he can't kill you. But he tells him to what? Act accordingly. Why? By bringing a heifer. He's like, I knew you would say that. So therefore, we're going to have a feast for this. And call Jesse to the sacrifice. And I will show thee what thou shalt do. And you shall anoint unto him. You shall anoint unto me. Wait a minute. What? No, hold on. Notice it has nothing to do with him. It's everything about the Father. So the Father is choosing him for himself. And thou shalt anoint unto me. Who? The creator of the earth. Yeshua. Him whom I name unto thee. For my name's sake, I'm calling him. And Samuel did that which the Father spake, and came to Bethlehem, Bethany, Gambia, Senegal. Ooh. And the elders of the town trembled at his coming and said, comest thou what? In peace. Comest thou peacefully? And he said, peacefully I come to sacrifice unto the Father. Sanctify yourselves and come with me to the sacrifice. And he sanctified Jesse and his sons. Thou shalt be what? Cleansed by the washing of the water of the word. The same thing. They have been cleansed to keep a sacrifice, and called them to the sacrifice. And it came to pass when they were come that he looked on Eliab and said, surely the Father's anointed is before him. But it will be the same way. So Samuel is looking the same way that Saul was chosen. Now look how the Father is looking. He is looking totally opposite of what was chosen the first time. But the Father said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature. Remember, that's what Saul was chosen for the first time. The Father's now choosing something totally different. So he's not looking at character. For character can be misleading. You can put on the act for people. Because I have refused him. For the Father seeth not as man sees. So however you see how a king should be chosen, the Father's looking totally opposite of what you think. Just saying. Just saying. For man looketh on what? On the outward appearance. The outward appearance is the character. If you're looking at the character, you're looking at how man sees. But the Father says, I don't see how you see. So if you're looking for character, you are looking at the wrong thing. Therefore, your eye is evil towards the one whom the Father has chosen. Let's look at character. Character is going to have something to do with the outward appearance. Watch. Character. Meaning, it's going to have something to do with the outer appearance. Outer. Everything that's on the outside. Like makeup. And everyone always talks about the character. The church talks about the character. Character, character, character. Character is the same thing like a cartoon. Distinctive feature, attribute, nature, disposition, makeup. The character. A cartoon character. A script that is weak in a plot but strong in character. Characterization. That's something on the outside appearance.
Character.
It's the outside appearance. A man of fine, honorable character. That means he shows on the outside.
Character.
Mannerisms. His physical makeup of an actor or actress. Acting, specializing in such roles. Didn't the Messiah say you play actors? He was talking about their character. So watch this. Let's type in the scriptures. You play actors. He called them hypocrites. So a person of a character, if you're choosing a person from character, you're choosing a hypocrite. You play actors. Bible verse. Are called hypocrites. There it is. You hypocrites. Play actors. You characters. You hypocrites. Play actors. Pretenders. Rightly did Isaiah prophesy of you when he said, this people honor me with their lips, but their heart is far away from me. But in vain do they worship me, for they teach as doctrines the precepts of men. That's exactly when you keep hearing people talk about the ancestors. We should get rid of the Bible and teach from what our ancestors taught us. Teach from what our ancestors taught us from the past. They are literally telling you, the Father calls them hypocrites, called them characters, play actors, pretenders. Bantuisms has come nothing more than a hypocritical scheme. Something for play actors. Something for pretenders whose lips utter out the Father's name, but their heart is far from him, because what he told them to do, they're not willing to do, but they're taking to heart the teachings, which is the doctrines, the precepts of man. These people worship me in vain. The Father says he was looking for those who will worship him in spirit and in truth. So those teaching in the Congo, those teaching from the Hebrew Israelites, they worship him in vain, but they teach as the doctrines and precepts of man. But they don't understand what the gospel is saying at all. Play actors, Characters. So those looking at characters, you're looking for play actors. You're looking for actors. Those who are not real. Those who are fake. Those who are not showing their true colors. My true colors are seen all the time. For man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Father, what is he does? He looketh on the heart. What did the Father name me again? I said, Father, I didn't want to go far away from David, so I said Psalms. And the Father said, no, son, heart of Psalms. So I add the Psalms to it, and the Father add the heart, signifying what? You're a man after my own heart. You delight in the fear of Yah. The Father gave me the name Heart of Psalms. The Father don't be just saying things to be saying it. So the Father gave me the name Heart. That means I'm after his heart. The Father looketh on the heart. So the Father looketh on Heart of Psalms. Then Jesse called Abinadab and made him pass before Samuel. And he said, neither has the Father chosen this. Then Jesse made Shemaiah, to watch to do it, to pass by. And he said, neither hath the Father chosen this. Look at this. This is tying in perfectly. But the Father has not chosen the tribes. He's not chosen this. He's not chosen this. But he's chosen one out of all the people on the face of this earth. Watch this. And again, Jesse made 7 of his sons to pass before Samuel. And Samuel said unto Jesse, the Father has not chosen these. This could be the tribes. He has not chosen Israel. It's not being done by your namesake. It's not being done for you. None of these things in Ezekiel is being done for you. Make sure that they know that I'm not doing this for you. Therefore, saying to the house of Israel, those sons represent you. Thus saith the Father, I do not this for your sakes, O house of Israel, but for my holy name's sake, which you have profaned among the heathen, whether you win. And Samuel said unto Jesse, are here all thy children? And he said, there remaineth yet the youngest, and behold, he keepeth the sheep. He's the good shepherd. And Samuel said unto Jesse, send and fetch him, for we will not sit down till he come hither. He is given honor. Watch this. And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy. Ruddy means he was healthy. He looked good. Fair countenance. Watch this. He was ruddy and withal of a beautiful countenance, meaning he is not ugly. So watch this. Hold up. I gotta look at y'all because you understand. But then choose nobody ugly now. Just because he chose a king don't mean you had to be ugly. There's some people who are calling themselves king. That by the standard of the Bible, you don't match that of a king. You don't, something happened with your face and beauty. It just didn't connect at the time when it was giving out beauty. You didn't show up in that line. So something happened between your face and beauty. It didn't connect. So y'all walking around talking about you the king of all the people, but you look like Sasquatch. You look like the thing that came up out of the river. You look like, what's his name off of Star Wars? What's his name? Chewbacca. Some of y'all look like this. Let me go get him right here. Let me go get Chewbacca. Y'all calling yourself the king of the people, and you look like Chewbacca. You lying on the Father. Sit down, Chewbacca. Them two brothers that used to call themselves the king and the priest. Up here looking like Chewbacca up in his... Talking about I'm the king of all Israel. and you walk around looking like a furry rat up in his mother, talking about, I'm the king. That's hilarious. You had the nerve to call yourself the king, but you was, come on now. You Chewbacca up in this mug. I mean, you can just Google. Freak, go to Facebook and see all the people talking about I'm the king of Israel. And you will see all these people who look like this, talking about they the king. I'm the king of Israel. Like the father done lied. He said he was of a beautiful countenance. Are you serious? I be looking like you. Did you read this scripture with it? Is you? I don't mean to, but did you? Some of y'all look like Yoda. Let's do it. We're gonna put it out there. You need to humble yourself down, stay in your position. Some of y'all look like this time I'm the king of Israel. You was bald headed as all get out. Don't match the African, don't even look like Africa at all. But you look like this. Talking about I'm the king of all Israel. Looking like Yoda. Some of y'all look like baby Yoda. Talking about the force is with you. Look, the force went against your face for a very long time and didn't give up. And the force won. Like you said, may the force be with you. It is there. It's there. It's in your face. In your face, son. In your face. You look like Father Time. Some of y'all look like Coolio with his 3 locks. Or his 3. Coolio has not given up the fight for his hair. Some of y'all look like Coolio. Talking about you are the king of all Israel. Give that dream up. Give it up. Like he needs to give up his hair. Just need to give it up. Just saying. Just give it up. Just saying. Give it up. Just give it up. He got a Red Sea in the middle of his head, but he will not give it up. The Red Sea has parted right here. Right there. And the hands is raised up. It said the Red Sea raised his hands. This is representative of his hands. The Red Sea raising his hands. This is how some of y'all look like, talking about you the king of Israel. Stop. I'm just saying, stop. Stop. Please stop. Please stop, baby. Stop. 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 You are embarrassing yourself. Some of y'all got a hole in the wall talking about you the king. And when someone said I was jelly, he put a whole sword in the middle of his head. Wow. Just okay. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, right? So just, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just Look like Coolio have a lot on his mind. Just leave it alone, right? Just leave it alone. We're gonna go back to that scripture. It says that he was of a fair countenance, right? So he didn't look like yesterday's trash. He didn't. I'm saying, he didn't look that way. Do I look like yesterday's trash? Do I look like Chewbacca? Look at it, said the skin was ruddy. That means of a red-skinned nature. My skin looks red, full of health. By the grace of Yah, he keeps me looking young to rule over his people. Dang it, man. This is the humility thing, right? People need to humble themselves. You don't even look the part to be king. You want to talk about character, but you don't even look the part. But you was born to eat bricks. Stop. All right, look. Now he was ruddy. Ruddy means he is of a healthy nature, and withal of a beautiful countenance, and goodly to look to. That means he's not going to hurt your eyes when you look upon him. Can you imagine looking at Chewbacca and saying that's your king? Look at this. Is it your king? Does it hurt your eyes to see certain people when you see them like that can't be the king right there? I know the Father didn't do that to us. I know he didn't give us somebody to represent us who look like Chewbacca. I know the Father didn't do that. I know he didn't give us Coolio to represent us. I know he didn't do that. But yeah, I know he didn't give us Yoda to represent himself to be king. He didn't do that with Saul. Saul was of a beautiful countenance. All the kings were always of a beautiful countenance. None of the kings were ugly. None of them. Can you imagine this being your king? And this representative, the representative of the Father is this right here. Chewbacca. I'm just trying to let y'all see the truth that people don't want to look at. And the Father said, arise and anoint him. Look what all the things he said before him. Number one, he's healthy, with all of a beautiful countenance, and good to look to. And the Father said, arise and anoint him. For this is he. You understand your ugliness will be the same thing as a blemished lamb. Your ugliness is a blemish. You ugly as hell. This is a blemished lamb. The Father can't choose that. He ain't gonna put his spirit upon ugly. I'm sorry. Father's not gonna put his spirit upon ugly. And we see that. I am not gonna waste my spirit upon ugly. I won't do it. It's the same thing. It's taking a blemished lamb or a blemished goat. And a beautiful countenance and goodly to look to. And the Father said, arise and anoint him, for this is he. Then Samuel took the horn of oil, horn of salvation, and anointed him in the midst of his brethren. Watch this. And anointed him in the midst of his brethren. Now, what does that sound like to you? He anointed him in the midst of his brethren. Jacob's leader shall rise from the midst of his brethren. Oh, my milk of magnesia. And their leader. Restoration of Jacob. And the children shall be at the beginning. The assembly shall be permanent before me, permanent forever. And I will visit against all who afflict them, and their leader shall be of themselves, of their own brethren. And their prince shall come forth from the midst of them, and I will bring him near, and he shall come to me. For who is he that setteth his heart of Psalms, to approach to me, said the Father. And you shall be my people, and I will be your Yah. Same thing. Midst of them. The same thing we see that's going on with David, how he's chosen in the midst of his brethren. We see the leader is also being chosen in the midst of his brethren. The scepter shall not be taken away from Judah, nor a ruler from his thigh, till he come that is to be sent, and he shall be the expectations, and he shall be the expectations of the nations. The same thing is happening right here. What's good? How we doing? And anoint him in the midst of his brethren. And the Spirit came upon David from that day forward. That means when David shows up again, guess what? The Spirit's going to follow him again. When he comes back, the same Spirit that was anointed to him when he was younger is going to be the same thing that's going to come upon him again. So Samuel rose up and went to Ramah. David served Saul. But the Spirit of Yah departed from Saul, and the evil spirit from the father troubled him. Notice his father's not on two people at one time. When he anoints one person, then his spirit is leaving the other person. And since you don't have the Spirit of the Father, you have to have a void there. That void is an evil spirit, a troubling spirit. So it's not going to be a spirit of peace or a spirit of freedom, it's a spirit of captivity. But the Spirit of Yah departed from Saul, and the evil spirit from the father troubled him. And Saul's servant said unto him, behold, now an evil spirit from the father, notice it didn't say from the enemy, from the devil. So every single thing that seems to be trouble you doesn't mean from the enemy. It could be from the father too. That troubled thee. Let our father now command these, let our Lord, which is Saul, now command thy servants, which are before thee, to seek out a man who is cunning, who is a cunning player on our harp. And it shall come to pass when he plays from the evil spirit, when he what? When the evil spirit from the father is upon thee, upon you, just like the Spirit of Yah was upon him. Now evil spirit that's troubled upon you is now upon Saul, that he shall play with his hand, and thou shalt be well. And Saul said unto his servants, provide me now a man that can play well, and bring him to me. Then answered one of the servants and said, behold, I have seen a son of Jesse, the Bethlehemite, that is cunning and playing, and a mighty violent man. That means he's a man of war. Watch this. I gotta go right here because Father won't come here. Provide me now a man that can play well. Now, let's go over to Ezekiel. We're going to a last part of it because Father said tie this in right now. So we're going to do this right now. Let's tie this in. And then we got to get ready to go, man. We got to go eat. I don't know what y'all going to eat, but we know we're going to eat. We supposed to be meet up at Sally's. And I'm trying to get up over here right now. So I'm trying to bring all this stuff down that Saul was the people's king. It's actually going to be 33 there. All right. Look at that part. Blow the horn. We just got to do saying, fill your horn with oil. Here it is. So my people come to you as usual and sit before you and hear your words, but they do not put them into practice. Although they express love with their mouths, they love me with their what? But their hearts are for me. Their hearts pursue dishonest gain. Indeed, you are to them like a singer of love songs with a beautiful voice, who skillfully plays an instrument. They hear your words, but do not put them into practice. So when it comes to pass, and surely it will come. Then they will know that a prophet has been among them. Now let's go back to that scripture again. When he said about Samuel, which are before thee, and to seek out a man who is a cunning player on a harp. And it shall come to pass, when an evil spirit from the fathers upon thee, then he shall play with his hand, and thou shalt be well. This is a prophet. And Saul said unto his servants, provide me now a man that plays well, and bring him to me. Bring the prophet to me, which is also the king. Then answered one of the servants and said, behold, I have seen a son of Jesse the Bethlehemite, that is cunning and playing, and a mighty man, a mighty violent man, and a man of war. What is he? What? He's a man of war. The word says what? The Lord is a man of war. So he's talking about David. The Lord is a man of war. So this Lord is King David. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. Look how King David is being interjected right here in Exodus. That's powerful. The same thing is being said of the Father is being said also the same of King David. Watch this. And I'll prepare him an habitation, my father's Yah, and I will exalt him. He is exalting David right now. Then saying Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Father, and spake, saying, I will sing unto Yah, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider have been thrown into the sea. The Father, or Yeshua, is my strength and song. He is become my salvation. He is my Yah, and I will prepare him a habitation. I will prepare him a habitation, a body. My father's Yah, and I will exalt him. The Father is a man of war. Yeshua is his name. And it says the same thing about David. David is a man of war, and prudent in matters, and a comely person, and the Father is with him. Wherefore Saul sent messengers to Jesse and said, send me David your son, which is with the sheep. And Jesse took an ass laden with bread, and a bottle of wine, and a kid, and sent them by David his son unto Saul. And David came to Saul and stood before him, and he loved him greatly, and he became his armor bearer. And Saul sent to Jesse, saying, let David, I pray thee, stand before me, for he hath what? Found favor in my sight. And it came to pass, when the evil spirit of the father was upon Saul, that David took an harp and played with his hands. The same as we see in Ezekiel 33. You're as David, who played on an instrument, right? So Saul was refreshed and was well, and the evil spirit departed from him. When the Son of Man comes, will he find faith? When David comes back, will he find faith? Will he find faith? No, he won't. And he has not. Many people think they know something, but they don't. King David is the Son of Man. He is the watchman of the house of Israel. He is the king. And here he is right here. One who skillfully plays an instrument. That's David. Now, the Father wanted to make sure that he did this for his namesake. So David has his name. We're going to do that last part. It says, behold, my name cometh from far. So David will be coming from afar. And this will be his king, chosen over the people. Behold, my messenger. Comes from afar. This is who he's doing everything for. His name. It's going to tie into the mercies that he's gave unto David. There's a promise that he made unto David. The light of the moon will be as bright as the sun, and the light of the sun will be 7 times brighter, like the light of 7 days, on a day that the Father binds up the brokenness of his people and heals the wounds he has inflicted. Behold, the name of Yah comes from afar with burning anger and dense smoke. His lips are full of fury. He's a man of war, right? And his tongue is like a consuming fire. Consuming fire. The way he speaks, his breath is like a rushing torrent and rises to the neck. He comes to swift the nations in a sieve of destruction. He bridles the jaws of the people that leads them astray. So his name is coming from afar. David is coming from afar. He says, I don't do this for you, Israel, but I do this for my name's sake. He does this for his king. Period. The king he delights in. In Isaiah 42, he says, my delight is in him. His delight is not in his people. His delight is in the king he has chosen for his people. That's why he chose the king. Because he delights in this king, because his delight is in the fear of Yah. Make sense? You are my servant, and thou shalt say in thy heart, who have begotten these? Behold, I will lift up my hand to the Gentiles, and I will set up my standard. I will set up my standard. I will what? I will set up my banner to the people, and they shall bring your sons in their arms and carry thy daughters upon their shoulders. Notice that the banner is right here. And he shall set up a standard unto the nations. And in the day of the root of Jesse, who standeth for a sign, who standeth for an ensign of the people. This is whom the Father's doing it for. The one who has the banner. And I will set a sign among them, and I will send them that they shall be saved. I will send of them that shall be saved to the Gentiles and to the sea. Watch this. Into Africa. What? What? And I will set a sign among them, and I will send of them that shall be saved to the Gentiles, into the sea, into Africa, and Lydia, them that draw the bow, into Italy and Greece, to the islands afar off, to them that have not heard of me and have not seen my glory, and they shall declare my glory to the Gentiles. Into Africa. What? So the people are coming to Africa. Notice it didn't say he was going from Africa. He says, I'm sending them to Africa for salvation. So salvation is coming from Africa. Okay. All ye inhabitants of the world who dwell on the earth, when the sign shall be lifted up on the mountains, you shall see, and you shall hear the sound of a trumpet. So the Father's doing all these things for this person. Comprende? For his name's sake. But for my name's sake. So anyone who, feels froggy, feel different, bring your stuff out with scripture, and we could talk about this. Here is my servant whom I uphold, my chosen one in whom my soul delights. I will put my spirit on him. This is David right here. So for the sake of David, you will not be cut off, because he promised him a lasting kingdom. So we need to get out of ourselves. Our people need to get out of themselves, thinking it's about them, and understand that this is about the king. Just saying. So with that, I'm about to get up out of here. Those who are here in the land, get to Sally's. All right. We're trying to get out there before hopefully the sun drops, whatever, get there. We're about to go right now. We're about to do the outro right now. So remember, truth is not biased. It is what is absolute. Thanks for tuning in. Definitely give. If you have your tithes and offering, give them. I'm telling you, like those who give a tithe, I used to give my tithe. I mean, my same. Hold on. That which of my tithe was the same amount that I usually gave for my offering. Because what I learned was, though I gave my tithe, the tithe is what's required. That is like, there is no, how can I put this? There's no reward for giving what you're supposed to give. See what I'm saying? It's the offering that brings in the blessing, right? So what you offer is what the blessing is. The tithe is automatic. It's like, all right, so I'm supposed to do this. That is following what the law say do. But then the offering is what brings forth the increase. So the tithe is what's required, but then the offering is what brings in the increase. So you want an increase of this, then that's how much you offer. But the tithe is automatic. So no matter how much money you make or whatever like that, you have to give a portion of that. That's automatic. Now the offering you give is what you choose. If you choose to give this or whatnot, that is your increase. So if you give $10, that's your increase. If you give $100, that's your increase. If you give $500, that's your increase. Your tithe has nothing to do with your offering. Your offering is totally opposite. That's why it says you have robbed me in tithes and in offering. Tithes, you rob me in tithes and offering. Rob in tithe in. I have to put this out here because I want people to be blessed, as the Father say, right? And offering. And I know this because I used to do this myself. So whatever my tithe was, I gave also in my offering. Yet from the days of your father, you have turned away from my statutes and have not kept them. Return to me and I will return to you, saith the Father of hosts. But you ask, how can we return? Will a man rob Yah? Yet you are robbing me. But you ask, how do we rob you? In tithes and offerings. Therefore, what? A curse. You're cursed with a curse. Yet the whole nation are still robbing me. He said, bring the whole tithe. That means anyone who's tithing over to Jonathan, tithing over to all these different places, he says, stop to do that. Stop tithing over to the church. Stop tithing to all these other different so-called ministries and bring your tithe into one place. That's the king. That there may be what? Meat in my storehouse. And then the Father will pour out a blessing upon you that you will have now no room to receive. And if I do an example of it, one day I'm going to do an example of that, of a bag full and then shaking together, and he's stuffing things down to try to put some more stuff in it and trying to zip. He said, you got some stuff that's going to be running over. You ain't going to be able to contain everything he's going to give to you if you begin to do what he tells you to do. He says, give a tithe. That's automatic. But the offering is what brings forth your increase. So you want to increase a little bit, give a small offering. You want to increase big, then give a big offering. And I'm just telling you what I've done. And I'm seeing now what the Father has said. So since I'm seeing it, I'm a witness to what the Father has said and what he will do. Give. If you give grudgingly, good luck with that. But if you give as the Father told you to give, which is with a cheerful heart and willing and happy to give, then watch what the Father does, right? Trust me, if you got to give, like, oh man, I don't really want to give, then don't give. Don't. But don't expect to be blessed either, as the Father says. Everything is according to his word. I will not show you anything in here if it's not the word. So if you want to be blessed, give as it tells you to give. Tithe is automatic. So if you have a job, you're supposed to be tithing to the king. Period. That's not up for negotiation. The offering is also, you're supposed to also give an offering. So whatever you give as an offering is your increase. So if you need a big increase, then that means your offering needs to match what you are looking to be increased by. And that's how I used to do it. That's how I do it. You understand? Trust the Father. And that's the only place where he tells you to prove him at. There's no other place that says, prove me here, prove me there. He tells you to prove him in money. Why? Because this is what the world goes by. It's money. All right. With that, I'm up out of here. I love y'all much, man. Stay up. Let's go eat some food. Hey, I got first dib on chicken nuggets. Not chicken nuggets, but barbecue chicken or whatnot. We need to go get some barbecue. So we're going to show them how to do it. I'm so serious. I'm about to go get some barbecue right now for them. And I'm going to bring some barbecue with me. Because sometimes they don't be having barbecue. They have the chili stuff like that. So I'm going to make sure we're going to start carrying seasons with us. I'm going to have the women have big bags. So we can have seasons up in there. So if they ain't got it, like, do you have some Dash? Mrs. Dash, you ain't got that? Just pull out the pocket. You know, the person be like, where we get that from? Oh, we got this from Amazon. We got this from Walmart. I'm so serious. We need to have some hot sauce, some barbecue sauce. I'm telling you, because when you come to the land, they don't have all this stuff here. I mean, the stuff you were used to in America, they don't have it. So you're going to have to get the stuff from Amazon. And when you find it in different stores, you got to bring it with you, because you go to certain different restaurants, you're going to expect them to have it and they ain't going to have it there. You're going to be like, most places they have ketchup. You go to certain places, you ain't going to find no barbecue sauce. You just going to see ketchup. And that's it. You're going to catch up. Some places don't even have salad dressing. They have one salad dressing, and that's the salad dressing you're gonna be just stuck with. It is salad cream. That's a salad dressing. I'm just being real. You don't have the choice of Thousand Island, ranch, and French and all that. It's just what we have here is what we have. That's it. So when we have a store here, we're gonna have to have a variety and put these people to shame. I told them that. I said, watch, we're gonna put y'all to shame. We're gonna have businesses from America when I come up here and put y'all stores out of business. Because we're going to know how to do things right? We're going to know how to fry chicken right without burning it, making it smell like or sound or taste like yesterday's news. We're going to put Doris in the kitchen. We're going to put her in the kitchen because she's going to be cooking Southern fried chicken up in this mug. Those who know how to fry chicken, we're going to put them in on the menu, right? We're going to have our own little thing. Judah eats. So Jazz, I need you to keep working on those things, those plans, because we're going to start doing this thing. We're going to do it small. We're going to start off small. We got to start from even when I'm over in my place, starting over at the place in Ghana town. Start doing Judah Eats from there. Start getting our things together. Start getting some compound. We're going to start, we are looking into getting places. People are looking into getting stores. Looking to what? Branch out into what the Father has called us to do. What? To bring forth land. As we're there, the Father's going to begin to start blessing us. And that's where your blessing comes from the offering you give. The tithe is automatic. The offering is automatic too, but what you give on the offering determines how much you are blessed. All right. Remember, no one's leaving mother, father, sister, cousin, wife, children to actually follow the Father for his name's sake will not receive 100-fold, right? Those are guaranteed 100-folds because you have left everything to follow him, right? And his king. All right. Kusabi, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the Sabbath. Today was the Sabbath, but the Sabbath is ended, and I'm getting off of here. Have a good one. Kusabi, family. Love you much.
Yeah, so we are here at Truth Colors today, and today I blew my brother Yasha's mind, by telling him something that he didn't even know about, You see, the Father works in amazing ways. Yasha has had, see the background that I have right here? It has many colors. has a truth colors background. So Yasha has had it since he started his YouTube channel. So me in the process of doing my reading my stuff and all that, I've read about the coat of many colors. You know, the father, all the patriarchs in the Bible used to have that coat. It goes down from Adam all the way till Joseph, and you know, during the period of Joseph is when the coat kind of disappeared, but it was the coat of many colors. The same thing is what my brother Yasha here has, truth colors. So you guys need to know that where all the colors for the truth are is where the Father dwells. So this guy has the truth and it's a bomb. If you guys are still double-minded, it's for your own doom. Check him out. Always listen to his words. The Father says, you listen to what he tells you. You don't look at what he's doing. Listen to what he's telling you. If you follow the instructions, boom, you'll be saved. If you look at Adam and Eve, they didn't follow the instructions. The Father gave them the instructions. They went away from it. They did their own thing. They leaned onto their own understanding. But right now, he's speaking to all of us through Yasha. So we're supposed to listen to what Yasha is telling us. Truth color, that's where the truth is. The way, the truth, and the lie. Yeah, my boy.
Appreciate it, fam. Appreciate it, fam. I do.
All right, you gonna cut it?
Yeah. All right, fam. Thank you for subscribing and supporting my Patreon channel, where the truth is not biased. It's absolute. I dedicate this channel through Nzambi Zulu to the awakening of my people and discovering who they truly are, to bring out information and revelation that they may not see anywhere else. And as we embark on this journey together, feel free to shout with us. OBYU, featuring our brand, Goshen Black. You can also purchase New Truth music from me, your boy Heart of Song, aka Music, featuring Etana, Nzambi, JG the Messenger, and other great artists on CD Baby and iTunes. It's time to awaken to the truth and power. Aren't you tired of being lied to? Truth speaks. Truth awakens. Truth colors.
Other songs.
Revelations. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark into his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Elohim, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. And they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Satan cast into the lake of fire. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and they shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. The great white throne. And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Elohim, and the books were open, and another book was open, which was in the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books, according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. And they were judged, every man according to their works, in death and hell. were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death, and whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. But I will tell you what will happen to cowards and to everyone who is unfaithful or dirty-minded or who murders or is sexually